Yep.
Do I start it?
Oh, okay.
I think I did that last time.
You did. But like every time.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Hello, everybody. We're welcome to
Why are you going British? Oh, hello.
I've been watching too much Doctor Who.
That one person where they're like, I'm watching too much Shannon Phil. I started talking.
Great way to start.
Oh man. Anyways, hello everyone. Welcome back.
I was actually trying to do the Hello Mario thing, but it went British.
Oh, hello. Don't eat. Anyway.
Okay.
Hello, YouTube.
YouTube.
Hello, YouTube. Today, we're gonna do. I can't. I cannot.
Oh God.
Anyways, hello, welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Thank you to all who watched last episode, if any. I don't check.
I didn't check either. Honestly, I went back, or actually, I realized about a week after I posted it that I never even put the end screen up, and I was like, I probably should have done that. I forgot about it. Oh well. What are you gonna do? The 4 people who watched it, I don't think they minded.
They're just like, oh, all right, they're done now. Finally.
It's been going too long. 2 episodes too long.
Anyways, but yeah, thanks for watching. I hope everyone liked their Spotify Wrapped. What else? It's been a month.
About a month, yeah.
A lot shorter than between the first and second episode.
And it's only because I had 2 ideas that went back to back.
I mean, well, whenever I was like, oh, let's do a podcast, I really was just like, oh, we can have a topic or two.
Yeah.
But then it would just be like.
But that's kind of how last week's was.
That's true.
I feel like we could do like a good
At
mix
least
of top 10s or top 5s or whatever, and then
or
random
something, yeah.
topic ones.
That's true. Or just talk.
Or multiple topic ones, I feel like it's a good mix to have.
Also,
since I feel like this one makes sense because it's an end of a year thing.
That's true.
So.
Everyone's posting their end of the year videos, like a video from each month of the year, and I was like,
we can't really do that. We have 2.
Well, I meant like personal.
Oh, I don't have any of those.
No,
I don't
not
record videos.
Wrapped in our our podcast.
No.
Just 3.
Just 3.
Anyway. Hold on, real quick. It's getting a little hot in here.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on.
Oh. I see the bit now. I was like, yeah, it is hot in here.
I was like, oh man, I know what I'm gonna do.
Make sure you're in frame.
Am I?
Yeah, you were, I think. Just make sure. Make sure
everyone
everyone sees it.
Just in case you couldn't tell. For those who are listening, Mykha got me the most wonderfulest gift ever. It's a combination of 2 of my favorite things. So it's the Eras Tour poster from Taylor. You know. Swift's. Well, I was thinking like the one that has been used as a template for many other things.
Oh yeah.
She's such a trendsetter. Anyway. It's her in the middle, and then it's all her eras behind her in squares, and then at the bottom it says Taylor Swift Eras Tour. So it's that template. However, it is Andrew Garfield, the love of my life. He doesn't know it yet.
This is the clip I send him.
Right? He's like, oh, okay, 12-year-old girl. Anyways, and yeah, I don't know. I told her I've never seen this picture in the middle. I think I told you when you showed me. The big one in the middle.
I don't know where
I've definitely seen this one. This is new. Definitely seen that one. Definitely seen that one. That's a good one. What's the bottom one? Yeah, that's a good one. They're all good. That one's a good one. That's a classic. That's another classic. Yeah. And then at the bottom it says Andrew Garfield, the Eras Tour. So I figured out how to wear it today. Because I was even thinking, I'm like, what should I wear today? Something related to what we're talking to? No. Even better.
It's sort of related. Because Eras Tour, Taylor.
Oh yeah!
It's like,
whoa.
I figured that's
I did not even think that. Anyways, all right, we can get started.
We haven't even introduced what we're doing.
You want me to?
If you want to. I guess I can do it.
You said if you want to, and then
you didn't say anything.
Well, because you were gonna do it.
I was looking at it, make sure it was on the right
slide.
You
do it, because I think I introduced last time. I don't remember. You can do it.
I don't know how to introduce stuff. Okay, we're doing our top 10 albums of 2023, which was.
Hold on, there's a plane.
Oh. Don't crash.
I like how we both look
I can't see
Oh,
it.
I see
I don't
it.
know where it is. It's right there. I don't see it.
Hello. Wonder where they're going. Anyway, like as if it might get picked up in our mics.
Right. It's not that loud.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Yes, we did our top 10 albums of. Or I'm sorry. Well, can you explain how we got here? Or not explain? It started off originally as top 5 albums.
Okay, yeah, that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
Top 5 albums of the year. But this one over here apparently just listens to too much damn music. And you would know if you listened to the episode before. We talked about our Spotify Wrapped and we compared it to the other two.
Yeah.
And so then this one was like, can we make it 10? I can't even do 5. I can't keep it to 5.
I couldn't narrow it down to 5.
And I was like, I can barely make it to 5. What the hell are you talking about?
And then I was like,
can we do more?
And
I can't keep it to 10.
Then I was like, I have my 10 plus 5 honorable mentions.
And then they're like, you have no honorable mentions. I'm like, not really. And they're like, what's wrong with you? And
I narrowed it down to 3, by the way.
What's wrong with you? I'm sorry.
Technically, I have my top 13 albums because top 10 plus 3 albums.
That's true. But I guess I have 1, but I don't care. I mean, not that I don't care, but I'm also just like, I didn't really listen to it this year, so I'm not even gonna keep it, or not keep it, but I'm not gonna consider it for.
I have so much to talk about. Do you know how many pages my
notes are? There's a whole fucking. There's an essay. There's an essay on the Chromebook.
I basically wrote an essay for each one. Do you know how many pages this is?
We were supposed to prepare like that?
No, you don't have to. I just did because I had a lot to say, and I've done.
I was just gonna be like, music good.
Well, I'm not good at remembering like things off the top of my head.
Sorry,
off the top of my head, so I had to write down notes to make sure I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah,
because I know why I like it, but if you just ask me like, "Well, go, why do you like this album?" I'd be like, music good."
I know
exactly what you just said. Like I'm just like
at work. It's like, how many books you recommend? Suddenly, I've never read any book in my entire life.
But if I write the notes, then I'm like, oh yeah, it has, and it's because of this. It's because of this. Yeah. This is what the name means. This is what, and so that's why I wrote notes.
Music good.
It's easier to remember.
I think that just might be my consensus for all mine. Music good.
Music good.
Anyway, all right, so we're gonna start off because this is a long one.
Yeah, I'll put the thing over here so I can grab it. Okay. So you're first. So.
Oh yeah, me number 10. So I had to switch mine. So it's Ready to Be by Twice.
Baby, you can heat them alive when you need it. Say that you try, baby, you succeeded. Got a craving, baby, can you feed it? Take a trip on the moonlight. Follow me to the sunrise. Every day, every night. Hey, come with me, don't think twice.
Originally was gonna be the album by New Jeans. What was it? Oh shit.
It was like literally just called like New Jeans Volume 2 or something.
Yeah, okay. But then my sister got mad at me. So my sister's a big K-pop person. Never thought that would ever happen. Not that it's a bad thing. It's not.
Before I get doxxed.
Hold on! I don't mind it. I don't mind K-pop. It's just not something I thought my sister would ever get into. And it started off with Blackpink. It's not like it's drugs. Anyways,
started off with Blackpink. She did the harder stuff.
And then now, no coming back. But no, Blackpink was her first group that she got into, and then I think her second favorite group, Stacy, and then Twice is like her third. Ironic, given that their name's Twice.
God.
Anyway, what's another one of her favorite groups that I can think off the top of my head? I don't remember. Sorry. Oh, ITZY. I'm sorry. ITZY's her second favorite, and then I think it's Stacy, then Twice, or something like that. Anyways, those are her top 4. So I went, we went to go see Blackpink when they came, and then we went to go see Twice when they came. And Twice is promoting their new album, this one, Ready to Be. So my sister got 2 copies, for the different photo cards, as you may know, for all my K-poppies out there. And so because of that, she's like, oh, you can listen to the CD in the car to prepare for the show. And so I was listening to it on repeat for a while. And so I was like, you know what, this is actually pretty good. There's like maybe one song that I'm like, I don't really care. And she agreed with me too. So it's not like I was like,
she was like, what?
Yeah. How dare you? But overall, it's really nice. I like Moonlight Sunrise. It was really cool to see him live. I will say though, I did prefer Blackpink over them. I'm sorry. Blackpink did a really good job. But Twice did good though. Like they really liked interacting with the. That's what's interesting about K-pop shows, is like they'll perform a couple songs, they'll stop, and they'll be like, "So we performed this song, and we performed this song. How did y'all feel?"
That's interesting.
Yeah, and then they would talk. And then they're like, "Oh, I liked it." Like to the other members, they're like, "Oh, I liked it when you did this," or "Oh, my favorite's when you did that," or just some of that. Because then also they get their solo time, and like with Blackpink, they all already had their own solo projects. I think the last. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was really only Jennie, Lisa, and Lisa's was the newest one, and then Rose. Jisoo hadn't come out with hers yet. I forgot what cover Jisoo did. I don't know, but K-pop groups usually have their own solo time. Sometimes they sing their solo stuff or they sing a cover. And so I think half of them sang their solo. One of them, Nayeon, she has her own solo. I like that song too. I don't remember the others. I think one of them did, but she was teasing it. I don't remember. Anyway, but like they would perform their solo stuff and then they would stop and then or not stop, but then they're like taking a break and they're like, "I really liked when you covered this song," and "Oh, I liked it when you sang this song. I like that song," and da da da. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice. They
interact with the crowd. It's
oh
not
yeah.
Like, we're too famous. We're just
I know,
gonna
right?
perform and then leave.
Well, especially like Blackpink. Blackpink they were really cute at the end. They were just like, "We don't want to go," making me cry. I'm like, I'm not even a fan. But Twice was really cool. I will say though, I like their light stick more, and it's really fun. It was like, yeah,
it was like this,
yeah. It was really cool. It was really interesting. My sister made little little bags with like photo cards that she made and stuff like that, and gave them away. And she's like, everyone does it. No, she was the only person. Both for Blackpink and Twice. So I'm like, are you sure everyone does this? Or are you just wanting to do it? And she's like, everyone does, like, I see videos of people giving out little goodie bags to everyone, like, as fans and da-da-da, with their, bias and stuff like that. But then also she makes me be the one to tell the people.
She's talking about that.
And then they're like, so who's your bias? I'm like,
I just work here.
I'm unbiased. Leaving.
Stupid fun.
Oh my god. Anyway, it's dumb as hell. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, oh my gosh. I mean, but then it's funny because then before to the Twice show, my sister was like, "Say your bias is Nayeon or Momo." And I was like, "Okay." And
giving you homework and giving you instructions.
Yeah, because people
like an earpiece in your ears.
Yeah.
Like, okay, now say
no, wrong name. Whatchamacallit? Because then there was a girl. I think she's the one that she dropped her stuff and we helped her, and then she's like, "Oh well, thank you, by in here, And then she asked my sister who her bias is, and she said different person. Then she asked who my bias is. I was like, Nayeon. My sister was like, yeah. And we walked away. She said, "Good, you did a good job." I was like, "You're welcome." Anyway,
Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, it was nice. Like I said, I really like Moonlight Sunrise. It's stuck in my head right now. I mean, we did just listen to it, but
yeah.
But yeah, overall good. So that's all. Well, because I wasn't putting New Jeans, but then my sister was like, "No, you listen to Ready to Be More. Why is that not on your list?"
I mean, is that how you rank them? How much you listen to them?
Yeah.
Oh, I rank them just how objectively good they are.
Well, because like if I only listen to it once, it's not my top favorite album of the year.
Well, I mean, I there's a couple on here that I only listen to all the way through like a couple times, but they're like really
but
good.
you listen to the songs?
I guess sometimes
on repeat, or not on repeat, but like they're in your playlist.
They're my playlist, yeah. But like, there's a lot of things on my playlist. But yeah, I know what you mean.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. It wasn't just you only listen, not even just front and back, but just all the way, just this album, just once, and then you're done.
Well, yeah,
like you don't listen to those songs anymore. No,
that's not like that.
That's why. That's how I did. Yeah, that's how I did mine too. Because there's like some that I'm like, yeah, I guess, but not really. So
okay, I see.
Anyway, that's my number 10.
All right, my number 10 is Scoring the End of the World. The only one, well, besides the honorable mention, but this is the only one on the list. And the reason it's number 10, even though I love it so much, is because technically it came out last year. The deluxe edition came out this year. So that's why it's number 10, because it was my number 1 last year, the regular edition. But I had to include it anyway, even though it's...
Well, how many... What's the difference between this and the deluxe?
2 new songs. Well, I have the track list right here. I had to put everything like as a reference. two new songs, one remix of an old song, one remix of a song from this album.
Interesting.
And the two new songs were really good. So that's why I was like, okay, it definitely has to count again. Yeah. It's worth its place. But that's why it's like number 10, even though I love it, because technically it's carrying over from last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I love it so much. It's I had to like write notes about everything because I'm a person, I guess I should preface now. I really care about why albums are called what they're called, how the artwork ties into it, how the songs all fit together, what the message of the whole album is. Like I look at albums like they're individual artworks, and I base my opinions based on that. So like if something feels disjointed, if something feels like all the songs are from different albums and not, it's gonna make me feel like it doesn't really, it doesn't.
That's fair.
And
sorry, that's not my mic. That's my drink.
Clip it to the end of your straw.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's so like that. I'm just saying that's because that's how I analyze a lot of these albums, and that's how I base my opinions on them. So that's why I wanted to press that now. Is like I do care about why it's called what it's called, what the themes are, what the message they're trying to get across is, stuff like that. And then I'm also, as much as I do like the music overall, but I'm very much a lyrics person. Like I pay attention to lyrics, I analyze lyrics. I love it. If the lyrics seem lazy, it's gonna make me like the song less, stuff like that.
I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna keep it to myself.
What?
It's not anything against you.
No, I know, but I want to hear it.
That's why I don't like new water parks.
No, that's fair. That's valid.
Cause like the music's good, but the lyrics, I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, it's like come on,
man.
That's why from Intellectual Property, I only liked 2 songs.
Yeah.
And it was the only ones where I felt like the lyrics were actually trying.
Yeah. I say that, but I did like Sneaking Out of Heaven. Even though I guess that's a bonus
which
one.
album? Oh, from Intellectual Property?
I think so. I didn't pay attention too much, but I heard the clip and I'm like, oh. And then I heard the song, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Not like the lyrics were like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a story. I was just like, okay, this works.
It sounds better. Yeah,
this works. Good. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. But that's why I say like
music good.
Music good. I like to some people like they can listen like when I was talking to Priscilla where she was like, oh, I love the reason, I don't know the lyrics to it. It's like, how do you not know the lyrics to a song that you love? Like, how do you not memorize every single lyric, every single vocal pattern, every single everything?
It depends on the song. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, I like the song, like I hear the lyrics. But I'm kind of just like, yeah, it's the song. But then there's other times where I'm like, no, I'm listening to the lyrics. I'm listening. I am in. So
I am always in.
It just depends, I guess. Because like there's some songs, like some singles, like Fergalicious, I'm like, I like the beat.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
Fergalicious definitions make the boys go loco.
I don't really listen to a whole lot of pop music, so I guess that's probably why I don't.
Well, like pop music, the lyrics can be good and the music
can be good. Yeah. It's just a lot of like the really, really popular songs. Like I like Lady Gaga and stuff like that. So like obviously I know they can be. Yeah. But I don't listen to it as much as I listen to other stuff. Yeah. So it's like a smaller genre I listen to. Also, I loved on Airbuds last night. What the fuck was that? Nice. There was a cat jumping on one of our roofs. Nice. Last night on Airbuds when you reacted
to the Pitbull song. I know. I'm like, okay, Motionless and Mike. Set it off. What's the other one you've been listening to?
Currents a lot.
No, what's that other one? They're jumping on the cover.
Jumping on the cover?
Yeah, they're jumping on the cover. They're jumping on.
I'm trying to think of what you're talking about. What do you mean?
You've been like listening to it on repeat this week.
I don't know what you mean jumping on the cover.
Hold on. Can I get?
Oh, also, by the way, the reason I listened to Pitbull last night, I listened to one song, and it was because it was stuck in my head for no reason, so I had to listen to it to get it out. And I had the la 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 whatever part. I had that stuck in my head from TikTok.
I don't even think I know that.
And so I had to listen to it to get it out of my head.
Can I click on your profile? Oh my god,
it's driving me insane.
I know. Hold on. They're jumping on the cover.
What does that mean?
Is it Falling in Reverse?
I haven't listened to Falling in Reverse.
Oh, Crown the Empire.
Jumping on. Oh, that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that cover. Honestly, it's from Sudden Sky from Crown the Empire. Yeah, I forgot. Well, because I don't know. When I was thinking jumping on the cover, I was like, are you thinking of the Maneskin album? But I haven't listened to that very much.
They're jumping on the cover?
He's jumping over the other band members. And so I was like, what? And honestly, when I look at that cover, I think they're floating, not jumping.
That's true. So looking at it now, jumping. Sorry, in my I'm like clear. I'm like, you can see in my head. You can see the image that is playing in my head.
You can see it, right?
But yeah, they are. I know, right?
Okay, yeah, I know.
They're pretty.
And then Pitbull, yeah.
And then Pitbull.
It was a case of the Fridays. I don't know. What can I tell you?
Oh, I wasn't gonna say. Sorry,
Yeah, you're fine.
you should explain your album. I was gonna say we should do a whole podcast episode where there's no references to anything
Oh, we
whatsoever.
can. I physically can't. I
We're
reference
literally-
everything every 2 seconds.
I literally was just about to reference a TikTok. I hate myself.
My brain is so full of references. I don't have jokes. I have references.
Yeah. Oh, I make jokes with the reference. Like
I'm just
I
like,
place
hey,
it.
remember this?
Yeah, I place it in.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this will fit exactly. In my head, it's like a file folder system, and I'm like, oh yeah, this will work. Perfect.
Mine's like one of those machines at like the grocery store where you put a quarter in and you
Oh,
do that and the
and
ball
then you
comes
get
out.
the-
It's like a random thing every time.
Anyway, you
and then back to this. It's about war and politics.
We're on number 10.
I know. Oh yeah, I know.
Anyway, no, you're fine.
No, it's fine. If it's a long one, it's a long one. Who cares? Who watches these anyway? I'm the one who edits them. It's fine. It's like a super political album. It's got a lot of stuff like about global warming, politicians. There's one song that's like almost directly about Trump and how shitty he is. He literally calls him a fascist in the song. It's like it's very political, and that's the kind of stuff that I like. You see a lot of stuff going forward with my albums, that a lot of them are
very
political.
similar.
Political about
Yeah, I think Twice is very political.
stuff like that. Yeah, I know. They're so political. Moonlight Sunrise. Was that tell you
it's
about
about
society?
the economy.
God.
Sorry, go on.
No, you're fine. I did when I actually like wrote. I literally this is the shortest one actually in the whole thing. I literally wrote essays for like each of these and like put in quotes from different like reviews and stuff. It's like
I did not come prepared at all.
no, you don't have to. It's just how I do things.
And I look sad at me like, this is my favorite album because
I like this music good. And I'm over
This
here
is
like,
really
and in
good.
2019 they said.
and the singer's hot.
No, but the quote I had for this one was, it's from Distorted Sound magazine from Tasha Brown. She said, following 2019's acclaimed Disguise, which is their last album, Scoring the End of the World offers 13 tracks of wall-to-wall apocalyptic energy. Disguise set the bar high for them, hailed as the record of their career, and the band were hell-bent on proving it wasn't a fluke. We're left with a simple question as this 49-minute... I can't talk today. 49-minute runtime elapses. Has Motionless and White replicated the sound of the success of Disguise? The answer is no, they have exceeded it. The phrase "album of their year" isn't one we use at Distorted Sound lightly. With Scoring the End of the World, however, Motionless White has earned that accolade. They stumbled across their golden key and opened the door to a new age for themselves. Disguise may have been the launch pad, but this record shoots Motionless White into their own stratosphere, which I agree with because this is the most mainstream I've ever seen Motionless White.
I was about to say, like, is that how their big career's been always? Like this album, kind of like political.
A sort of, yeah. They've had some stuff here and there because they're more of like a horror-ish theme band, but then they also do more. Then they also have like some stuff about a lot of stuff about like religion, a lot of stuff about politics.
Mm-hmm.
So they sort of mix that stuff in between, and that's how this album is sort of too. Because they also have like all these like political songs about society. And then they also have like one Michael Jackson tribute on there with Werewolf. Oh. So it's like it's not, but it's weird because it doesn't feel disjointed, even though it's like it seems like it would be. It is.
That's what I, like when bands are able to make it work.
Yeah,
it's like that's good, and that's sometimes like when I continue listening to bands because then there's some bands that I'm like, what happened?
What happened here, guys?
What happened here? What the hell are you trying to do?
And that's why when I agree with her saying it's the record of their career because and hopefully they'll continue to get better. But like I said, this is the most mainstream I've seen, Motionless White. Because like when I listened to them in like middle school, it was like one of those bands that like only the super emo scene kids knew.
There's something,
and there wasn't really, and everyone else was like, oh my god, they look scary because they do sort of have like the gothic look. But now I'm seeing them like in like mainstream magazines. I'm seeing them in like in mainstream stores like that. So it's like and so it's like they've really stepped up their game. And like Disguise, their last album was a step in the right direction, but I think this is what is really putting them on like everybody's radar. Yeah, masses radar, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like obviously it's still what did I list the genres as? It's still like metalcore, so it's not gonna be ever like be on level like, of pop music and none of that. But it's like it's more commonly known than like
they're getting recognized more. Yeah.
And then so also I did you didn't list your favorite songs from that last album.
Moonlight Sunrise.
Okay.
Oh, hold on.
Because I
know. I was like, maybe I should Like
I listed 6 songs from each album that were my top 6. I tried to do 5, but I was like, I feel
there's
like one's
only
left
like
out.
4 songs on
Are you
this album.
serious?
Yeah. Yes, K-pop albums.
Oh,
They're
yeah, you've explained that to me before. I
yeah,
said it
they're
was
not
stupid.
actual. They're not full. Like they are really only like 3 or 4, maybe 5 if we're
Yeah.
lucky. But that 5th one's usually like an English version or a
Mm.
Japanese version.
See, that's just it's.
I know it's so crazy. Yeah, my sister's also like, cause like Blackpink's teasing new music or that they're gonna have a new thing or they like redid their contract, something like that, and there's gonna be a new album. And she was even like, yeah, 3 songs. They make a whole big deal about 3 or 4 songs. It's weird. It's so crazy.
That's why I couldn't, even if because I mean, I'll admit some K-pop songs do have like a good beat or whatever, and I can listen to them. That's why I could never like be a fan of K-pop, is because like it seems just so like industry heavy, where it's like a lot of just like, okay, make money, do this now, do this now, do this, and it's like pushing stuff out just to make more money.
Yeah.
So they do 3-song albums.
Well, it's weird because it's like they do and they don't. There's some groups that they're like, yeah, keep putting out, but then there's other groups where they're like, nah, like Blackpink.
Yeah.
They don't really utilize Blackpink a lot like they should.
I feel like they're a really well known one.
They
like
are.
It's like one of the only ones I recognize the name of.
They really are. Yeah, they were the first female. I think. I don't know. This is just from my
just from my
well, I
knowledge.
mean, obviously BTS made it big,
yeah,
popular here, but I think Blackpink was like a close second.
Yeah,
because like you like there's a couple songs that you would probably recognize, like How You Like That, doo 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 doo. They had
that's the name of the song.
That's the name of the song. It's a good song actually. They had Ice Cream with Selena Gomez. They have Sour Candy with Lady Gaga. I'm trying to think of another collaboration they did. Man, shit. What's another collaboration? I can't think of it. But anyway, but yeah, I think they're one of the biggest.
Yeah.
Like, or at least the ones that are also well known, that started to get well known over here. But they don't really treat them that way.
Yeah, it's weird.
I know. It's like you could make. I mean, not that it's about money, but you can make more money.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't have to be the goal, but also like utilize it when you can.
You can be a little smarter about it.
Yeah.
I like Moonlight Sunrise. Oh, I do like Set Me Free. I like Got the Thrills. I think I like Wallflower. I don't really care for Blame It On Me. I don't know. There's something about it. I'm like, you don't have to blame it. It's fine. Anyway, continue yours.
Okay. Also, I wanted to point out with the way I rank albums, so it's okay. So obviously, all albums are like different lengths like that, but they're all about the same length, but just some of them go longer. But for me, for it to qualify as a top 10, top 5 album, like a top album for me, I have to like at least 80% of the songs. So like if it's an album of 10 songs, there's only 2. If I like less. Okay, how am I supposed to phrase this? If I dislike more than 2 songs, it's not one of my top albums. Like I can't justify like that because it's so short. You have to make every second of those count.
Yeah.
So that's like one of my other ones. I'm not gonna like say yet what it is, but like it's got 10 songs. Only 1 song I don't like, and I don't hate it. So that still qualifies as a top 10. But if it was an album of 10 songs and there was 4 I didn't like, I'm like, well, you wasted 4 songs.
That's why I didn't include. No hate to the Jonas Brothers; they were one of my top artists, but that's why I didn't really include them into my top 10 songs because it's like, yeah, I like a couple of songs. Like I like more songs on this album than I did the last album, but I'm not considering it all.
Yeah,
my favorite because there's a couple that I'm like, why was this here?
Right.
What were y'all doing?
And that's why I also appreciate when bands do long albums when they can still make it to my top 10 because it's like they made every second of that count. Because this album is with the deluxe edition is 17 songs long. Ooh. And I like all of them. It's an hour and 4 minutes long. I like all of them.
Even the remixes?
The remixes are pretty good. The 2 remixes they had was Time Bomb. One of them, it was a single that they had that wasn't like on an album, and they remixed it for this album and put it on here. So it's like it was like a more like electronic-y sort of like just random single, and they remixed it to sound more like this album and put it on here. And then the other one was the guitarist Ricky. He does his own singing and he does his own mixing like that. So they let him remix one of the songs with his own voice. And it's like it's more like orchestral like that. And so it feels more like because it's the last song. It's like a closing orchestral sort of like song of a remix from the beginning. So it's like it all fits and they're all good. People, okay, Red, White, and Boom haters.
What?
You don't stand for me. There's a song called on this album called Red, White, and Boom, and it's with Caleb Shomo from.
Oh, I'm sorry. I feel you said Red, White, and Boom haters. I heard Red, White, and Blue painters, and I was like,
haters.
What?
People who don't like that song, go fuck yourself. It's a good song.
Oh, strong language on this.
It's people who are like, I don't even know what they say because I don't even listen to them. But people who don't like that song, shut up. It's a good song. You just hate fun. Oh, so you hate fun.
Oh, so you hate fun.
You hate joy, magic.
That's how I feel when people say they hate Sunshine Riptide.
Really?
I'm like, oh, so you hate fun. Yeah. I was gonna go in a whole.
We'll get to that.
I was about to start singing it, but I'm like, nah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So let's see. So let's go to that was the end of mine. So
okay.
That was I didn't list my favorite songs. My favorite songs are "Cause of Death," my number one. I love that song so much. "Kiss Me."
Kissing You with Tongue right now.
Kissing You with Tongue right now. "Hollow Points," which is one of the bonus songs they added. "Masterpiece," which is the one that we just listened to. "Burned at Both Ends 2," which is part 2 of one of their songs from Infamous, I think. "Scoring the End of the World" title track with Mick Gordon, who was the composer for the Doom soundtrack, I think.
Oh.
It's very like electronic, like apocalyptic.
Interesting.
Really cool. And "Slaughterhouse" featuring Brian Garris of Knock Loose. It's that one that started playing in the car that one time where it was like, and you were like, oh my god. It was that one. So those are my favorite songs from that album.
Too funny.
Now,
okay, my number 9. I don't even remember. Wasteland by Hippocampus. User Hippocampus finally put Hippocampus on the spotlight. Yeah, I will say I do like this EP, but I like their third album way more. I highly recommend it. It's called LP3. It's album of the century. But anyway, but they did really good with this follow up. It's a lot different from their previous stuff. I feel like hold on, let me look at the track list again.
It's only like 6 songs, I think, right?
Yeah, it's a little EP.
Well, it's an EP, yeah. So
it's an EP, yeah, and it's interesting because they did come out with an EP before their third album.
Mm-hmm.
Very different. It's very interesting. That's the thing though I like about Hippocampus is like they'll experiment, but it's not so like what the hell is going on. Right. It's just like, okay, this is your vibe for right now.
Yeah,
I get it. All right. Because like this, I think it was a lot more. They took a lot of like more Western, or not Western, but like
country.
God, yeah. I was like, what's?
I was
cowboy.
I was waiting for you to say country, and I was like, country
horse.
They took some horse sounds through in there. I thought it was funny because whenever I asked you to send me your track list or your top 10 list, I was making the clips we put in here, and I was like, was Hippocampus always country?
I don't remember seeing. I don't remember hearing country when we saw them
live.
live.
I was like, I don't remember them being country when we saw them.
What happened? Hold on.
It was good though. This is a pretty good EP. I listened to the whole thing because it was like I might as well.
Yeah, I know. I think I listened to your EP on one day, but yeah, it's very top 5 songs. That's all there is. It's 5.
Just rank them in order from least to or most to fave.
That's a good question. They're all pretty good though. Like I can't even like
most replayed to least replayed.
Most replayed. I guess Yippee and Moonshine play a lot on my playlist, and I'm like, yeah, Yippee this is a good song. I do really like Probably though. It played today on my shuffle, and I was like, oh, that was really good. Which one call it? I kind of forgot that it came out this year. Not in a bad way. It's just a lot of stuff has happened this year. And I'm like, oh yeah, they had an EP. But yeah, very different from their last album. But it worked out. See, like I said, when a band does something different and it works out because they know what they're doing and they have faith in themselves, it makes the whole world better. But yeah, I really liked it. I really like Hippocampus. Hippocampus. Anyway,
had to throw that in there.
I know, I'm sorry. But yeah, I liked it. Like even when they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna have an EP," I'm like, "Oh, really? Cool. We just had the album. Like, calm down." And then I think what was the first single? I think it was Yippee or Kick in the Teeth, one of the two, and everyone was kind of like, "Oh, okay,
we're doing this now.
Sure, why not?" And then the EP came out, and everyone was like, "Okay,
yeah,
all right." Sure, I'll be a cowboy for 5 songs. But yeah, I really like it. It's really good. They're really great. They're really awesome. Love them. I need to see them live again. I don't know why I haven't. Oh, I think they like came during like when we were working, and I was
Yeah,
like, can y'all?
fans always do.
It sucks. It sucks being a working class adult.
Right. Oh my god, when Motionless and White came with
Oh, yeah.
Black Veil Brides and Ice Nine Kills and Atreyu on a fucking Tuesday, I was like, are you
what's
kidding
wrong with
me?
you? What are you sick in the head? What's wrong with you?
I
Anyway,
this Trinity of Terror. So sad. Anyway,
but yeah, it was really good. I like all the songs. I'm always looking forward to more from Hippocampus. So I say go check them out. Yes. Sound of
good when we saw them live.
They're really good. They were really good live. I like them. They're really cool. They're really cool guys. I think there's a lot of celebrities. I'm like, if I could be friends with them, I think I think it'd be hit it off, and I think I could be friends with all the Hippocampus guys.
I was gonna say honestly, because I haven't listened to like their whole discography. I listened to like I think that one album with like The Room on it. I can't remember.
Oh
what it's
yeah,
called.
their first album, Landmark.
I listened to that one, and I
That's a
listened
good
to
one.
this one, and I've listened to a few songs here and there. I think this is what I've liked the most from them.
I think you would like their third album.
Which one is
I
that one?
love it. It's
What is it
called
called?
LP3.
Okay.
Love it. Like I was listening to that on repeat, both in my car, like CD, and on my phone. I was like, I cannot get enough of this.
Can't get enough of these little guys.
Can't get enough of these guys. They're in my brain 24/7. But yeah, I like Hippocampus. They're really good. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. My number 9.
You didn't put your. That's fine.
What do you mean?
Oh, never mind. Don't listen to me.
Okay. The Death We Seek by Currents. So, The Death We Seek by Currents. This was my number 9. I got fucking Grammarly in my way. Sorry.
You misspelled every single word.
Hey, you actually suck at writing. Stop. That's what they tell me every
Please
time.
stop.
Okay, so I might ruffle some feathers with saying this, but I consider their genre to be gent, which people are like, gent's not a genre. I kind of agree it's not a genre. I'm about to explain it.
Okay.
I'm about to explain it. I just wanted to say this out here because when I was like researching things like that, they're described as metalcore, gent, post-hardcore with elements of deathcore. I agree with that. People are like, gent's not a genre, gent's not a genre. Okay, what gent is, technically it's a subgenre of progressive metal and math metal. I'm about to explain it. I have a whole paragraph here. I'm gonna get to it.
I'll be patient. Sorry.
Yeah, you're in class, like
teacher, please explain.
Anyway, okay, I can't see.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so it's characterized by complex and heavily syncopated rhythm patterns. I got this from Wikipedia, by the way. So if you have beef with what I'm saying, go with Wikipedia. Born from the band Meshuggah, which is it's an old band. And is now popularly played by groups such as Periphery, Tesseract, Born of Osiris, and Veil of Maya, as many others. I've listened to 2 of those, not the other 2. Gent is supposedly, I don't understand this really much, but is an onomatopoeia of the signature sound the guitars make. I think it's supposed to be like, or something like that. I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay,
like the sound the guitars make.
Okay.
Is the only thing I could guess they mean. The distinctive sound is high gain, distorted, palm muting, and downturned strings, which I understand what that means. Typically in drop G sharp. What do you know what downturning and stuff that is in tuning in guitars?
What?
Do you know what that means? Like tuning in guitars with that? So,
like, do I know how to tuning
like,
guitar?
If someone were to say this song is, or this song is in drop D sharp. Do you know what that means?
Oh.
Okay.
Do you?
Yes. Well, I play guitar. I used to. I don't play anymore. But
no,
I know
sorry.
some things about it.
No.
So
I know
when
we were both in orchestra. I don't remember a single damn thing from there. All I remember is how to play.
Yeah. I mean, well,
Sugar
yeah,
were going down on the violin, and I taught myself.
We were both in orchestra, and so I obviously know a little bit about music and stuff like that. And also, it helps that I played in bass clef, not treble clef.
That's true.
But also I did play guitar for a while. I don't
Oh,
really remember how to play now, but I know the like concepts a little bit.
You still remember that, yeah.
But when they say it's typically in drop with downtuned string and stuff like that, so like a lot of metal is played down tune. So it's where you would take the top string, the E string, and tune it down, and then match everything else to that. So it's like,
Interesting.
so if you were to tune, so like a lot of like dad rocks like that, those feels like especially a lot of 3 Days Grace songs that I used to play when I was playing guitar. A lot of those are in drop D. So you would tune the E string to a low D, and then go one step down in each one. So everything would match that. So it's hard to explain because I don't really have a guitar to show you.
So
I
you
can't
don't.
do it.
I mean, you don't really have to.
I know, but I'm just trying to explain it because it's easier.
Yeah.
And so that's why a lot of times when you see bands and concerts, sometimes they'll go and switch out guitars. It's because different songs are in different tunings, and instead of sitting there trying to tune your guitar, they just have a different guitar in each tuning, and you can just swap them out.
Yeah.
To go faster. So a lot of metal is in drop something. So drop G sharp. A lot of Judds is in drop G sharp. And it's so that everything sounds more like just like low and sounds more like that. And
that's what I figured.
And so that's what I was gonna say too. After this is like it's heavily debated on whether or not it should be considered a genre or if it's just a technique that people use. But that's Wikipedia considers them a gent band, so that's what I'm saying is gent. Right? So whatever.
Let's ask them how they feel. Hey, how do you feel?
Hey,
how do you... Hey. Anyway,
so this is this album. It's very nihilistic and existential. Very dramatic. One review described it as a melancholic commentary on how utterly disconnected we have become in the post-pandemic, post-apocalyptic world. Speaks a dire truth of how far down into our echo chambers we have fallen. That was from BullinTunes.com from Joe Hammond. I had to cite people.
Well, yeah.
I have to, obviously cite my sources. It captures the anger, disappointment, and despondency some of us feel when looking at the world we live in today. This is what I meant when I was prefacing that I listen to a lot of dramatic, serious music. This is what I prefer.
I like silly stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy a silly thing time to time. Yeah. I listened to Pitbull last night. But primarily,
that's not the song. Sorry.
Was it?
At one time, we were doing road trip with my mom, and we parked because we were doing a pumpkin patch, and I don't know why, but I started singing "We at the motel, Holiday Inn," and then because my mom used to be a big Pitbull fan too, and so she finished the song with me. And my sister in the back was just like, "Can y'all shut up? Can we go take pictures of these pumpkins,
That's
please?"
So funny.
I kept singing that the whole time. We at the motel, Holiday Inn. Anyway.
Pitbull's good sometimes. Those lyrics make no sense at all.
Nah, it's okay. See, you can be silly.
I know you can't be silly. I know.
Yeah, why not?
I'm not saying you can't be silly.
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you can be silly.
You can be silly.
Yeah,
that's a treat.
Yeah, in this crazy world we live in, I will allow a little bit of silliness.
Okay, so I'm gonna again. I feel like I'm just like arguing with a lot of people now. So I like this album despite some of the criticism. People say some songs because I'm gonna explain this in a second. Some songs they say can feel a little like samey, like some songs sound the same.
That happens with a lot of artists anyway.
And I think they're still enjoyable. And the reason for this that I think why some of the songs sound the same is mostly due to the production and mixing, not really the songwriting itself. And it's based on what I listen to. That's sort of just like a thing that happens in gent and deathcore because of how everything is sort of like down tuned and muffled and like compressed. That sometimes it can just be like overwhelming to listen to it and everything sounds sort of the same. So that's what I think it's from. I think maybe like people just need to learn how to mix stuff better. I mean, I think
job better.
I think the album's still really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about as the genre or subgenre or whatever as a whole. Because if you listen to primarily deathcore and you're saying like, oh, I love it, but all songs sound the same, it's like, okay, well, is it the deathcore's fault or is it the people who are mixing its fault? Because it's like that. So that's the only thing I can think of as like a criticism of this album. I will say I like their last album better, the way it ends. But that one, it had a way different vibe than this one. That one was more straight up metalcore. This one's way more like genty deathcore-y. I'm not saying I'm saying deathcore-y because it's definitely not deathcore, which is like
deathcore-esque.
It's in the realm of it, and his vocals get there sometimes, but like it's not like
that's not the main goal.
It's not a deathcore album. That's why I'm saying deathcore.
There's traces of it. There's sprinkles of it.
But I was also gonna say this again. I feel like I'm arguing with people. People were saying that this album was just Heavener by Invent Animate, but worse, which is another album that came out recently.
Interesting.
I listened to Heavener and I didn't like it. I didn't hate it, but it was like
That's some hot takes you're putting
literally
here.
everyone on fucking Twitter has been like all these medical things I follow, all these like people that I follow, they're always like they've been like, oh, this is like the album of the year, Heavener. This is the album of the year. It's so revolutionary. It's fucking amazing. And I listened to it, I was like, this is just basic metalcore.
That's how I feel with a lot of like stuff too. I'm like, are we
I
listening
mean,
to
like
the
I
same
said,
thing?
it wasn't bad,
but
it wasn't like revolutionary. It wasn't the best
Yeah.
metalcore album I've ever heard. It was like, okay, it was fine. It was good.
Yeah.
That was it. And people were like, this is just that, but worse. This came out first, by the way. And so it's like
This walked.
so they could run.
Yeah, so they could run.
But
there's those references again.
I mean, obviously, I know what you mean. I'm not saying that this is like revolutionary or this is like the best thing I've ever heard, but it was a good album, and so was Heavener. I just like this more. So fucking sue me.
Kill me.
Kill me where I stand.
I dare you.
Anyway, but back to praises. I really love his voice, Brian Wiley. He's got a fucking amazing voice. Because I mean, obviously a lot of metalcore and like deathcore, whatever,
get a good range.
Can have good range too. But he does it so like cleanly. He can go like from like the
effortlessly
and just back to like straight up singing like that, and it's so quick. And I've seen like videos of him doing it live. He can do it live too. And so it's like I just have to praise his fucking vocal ability. He's really good. And I think as much as I have like small issues with the production, all the instruments are spot on too. Like people, they seriously can do their jobs. They seriously have like a lot of talent, and it's a lot of skill. Like even when in that short clip, you can see how the playing of the guitars like that. He was going like, and I was like, dude, it's crazy. And and even though you can't hear a lot of that in the mix, he still has the technical ability to do it. And I think that's praiseworthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this was a shorter album. This was only 10 songs, but I don't say I disliked. I just don't listen to it a lot because it's like, yep.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's okay. I only don't like one song. It's Vengeance. I thought it was a little bit whatever. But all the other ones I liked a lot. My favorite ones were Remember Me, the one we watched. That was my favorite one from the album. Living in Tragedy is my second favorite. Death We See, the title track, so really good. Beyond This Road, Unfamiliar, and Guide Us Home, those were all really good too. And obviously a lot of the other ones I liked too. That was just the one that I wasn't.
The one that's not, yeah.
But yeah, that was my number 9. It's really fucking good. Stop saying Heavener is better than it.
Stop it, please. Please.
Listen to me. Okay.
Oh, it's mine.
Yes, yours.
Oh, I totally forgot. Mine's the Maine self-titled album by the Maine.
I like this album.
This is a good album.
When I say so, give me love, leveled up on a higher dose. No sorrow, this is chemical. Hit just like an antidote. Give me love, leveled up on a higher dose. Mic check, straight out of low, goodbye to normal. Welcome to your mad world where you can forget.
Anyways, the Maine has a very soft spot in my heart. Even though I've only been listening to them for since 2019 with Lovely Little Lonely. The best fucking album, by the way. Go check out Lovely Little Lonely by the Maine. Oh my god. There's something about that album. It's so fucking good. Anyway, they've been around for 16 years.
Yeah.
Insane. I've only ever heard them for 4 or whenever since 2019 was.
4 years, I think, right?
Is it
5 almost?
I'm not counting. Anyway, but whatever. But yeah, these past 4 albums have been super good. Like Lovely Little Lonely is a banger. You Are Okay is a banger. Whatchamacallit? Anxiety in Real Time. Is that the name of the album? Shit. That one's a good one too. I have a lot of favorites. And then they were like, yeah, we have a new album. I'm like, y'all just came out with one. This one was really good. It's shorter than their past albums or these past 4 albums. But it's okay. I don't really have much to say about it. Like I don't do much. I'm just like, yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine by me. But I was really excited for it, and I like that song. I really do. One of my favorite songs off the album, though. Like every time I listen to it, I'm like, oh, everyone, shut up. Nobody's around me to say that. But I thought it was interesting that they went, that they did it's a self-titled album. Usually like bands do that. Well, Paramore did it later in their career too.
Yeah, sometimes bands will do that like randomly in the middle of their career or like later for no reason. Like
Yeah.
asking Alexandria, I can't say her name. Asking Alexandria did that in like 2017 like that. I'm like, y'all have been around for like 13 years.
I
Like really?
know. I think it's interesting. It is interesting when bands do that because then it's like you couldn't have come up with another
Yeah.
title.
I mean, I
But
understand
then
sometimes it's like a statement, like we're going back to our roots or something
I
like that, or like
guess
I understand it's a statement sometimes, but sometimes it's just like I couldn't think of a title.
I can think of a title for you right here. Anyway, another really good song on this album is
Mhm.
"Leaving 5."
Mm.
Such a fucking good song. That gets stuck in my head all the time. They just came out with a remix or remix whatever of that song with Mr. Wives.
Mhm.
Which I forget I saw them live in concert before Panic at the Disco, and they were pretty good. They have one popular song that I'm sure if I play it, you'd be like, oh yeah, maybe. I don't
Mr.
know.
Wives Reflections.
Yeah, that one
I
song.
have it on my playlist.
Oh, probably. Okay, there you go. And it was actually pretty good because I'm always hesitant when they do not the main, but like when
Mhm.
people do remixes with people added into it. For example, Taylor, she had her Lover remix with Shawn Mendes.
Mhm.
I don't know why. I'm not gonna talk about
I
it.
always
But
forget that Shawn Mendes is a singer.
what did you think he was?
Just a guy.
Just a guy?
Yeah, just famous for something stupid. I don't know.
No.
don't know.
Yeah, he's. I
Well,
saw
also I get him mixed up with Charlie Puth though, so they don't really look alike. I just don't
they.
differentiate. They're just two white guys.
Yeah. I prefer Shawn Mendes over
Yeah.
Charlie Puth. Shawn Mendes can sing better than
I don't
Charlie
think I only
Puth.
know one song by him, and honestly, I've heard the rock remix more than his.
You're talking about Shawn
Stitches.
Mendes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stitches. I've heard that before.
What's a good song of his? He had some good singles. I didn't go on my way to. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I was just like, I mean, you got. I mean, I did see him live because he opened up for Taylor.
Yeah.
He was just a little guy. Just a little guy with a little guitar. Anyway, but yeah, it was pretty good. I heard it yesterday, and I was like, all right,
All right, dude.
fine by me. But yeah, they're really good. My favorite songs is Dose Number 2. That one. How to Exit Room's good. Blame's really good. Leaving 5's top. Was that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was 4. I can't count. What's another good one? Oh man, it just played. I can't think of it. Man, I mean it's all really good.
Yeah.
I really liked it. They didn't disappoint me, obviously. And I think more people should pay attention to them because they do a really good job. They don't
Yeah.
have a label. Like it's just their own.
Mhm.
And they work really hard and it
Yeah.
pays off a lot. They're that's one of the bands where it's like they kind of change their sound because like I keep wanting to say Black Butterflies and Deja Vu, but that's the name of the song. Lovely Little Lonely is very different from their early stuff. Like
Mhm.
very different. Because they started off with pretty like, punk rocky or not punk rocky,
Yeah.
pop rocky kind of I don't know how to describe it.
I have to listen to the early stuff and
Yeah.
decide what the genre
Yeah.
that is.
And it wasn't until like towards Lovely Little Lonely that they were starting to change their sound. And then from then on, it's like they kind of change it like a little in there, but it still works for them.
Mhm.
They like to it it's like they are like they I don't know how to describe it. Music good.
Music good.
Like the earlier stuff it's like okay, but then like they started kind of like okay, we're not just here for
Mhm.
the music, we're here for y'all. And they always every year they do they hosted like a festival in Arizona because I think that's where they came from.
Yeah.
My friend goes all the time. And it's because I know like Jared Leto, he does his whole camp thing.
Yeah.
And it's basically you're there to pretty much worship him because he always has to be worshipped.
Yeah.
But like with the it's like 8123 or 1823 fest, I forgot what the name of it is, but the Maine they hold it, it's a concert, but it's like it's a community, like everyone
Mhm.
there like truly like wants to be there. And then the Maine themselves are always so very grateful. They always say like thank you so much guys for coming out, like we really enjoyed having y'all, thank y'all for being with us for 16 years.
Right.
They're very grateful for what they do, and you can tell with their music like they truly like the messages that they put out and all this stuff, like it really works out for them. So I think they're very underrated.
Mhm.
Like
I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get to go see him.
I know, but like yeah, we should have. But we had to work the next day, and
I would have dealt with it.
I could not have. I think something happened that Friday. I'm like, and Karina was even like, aren't you glad you didn't go to the show? I'm like, oh yeah. I forgot what happened the day before. Like literally the next day, I was like, I'm so glad I didn't go. Not that I didn't want to see them. Like I really do want
It's
to
just
see
because
them.
we have to work early the next day
Yeah,
afterwards.
sucks. Anyway, but they are. Yeah, I do want to see them live one day. Because I know it's gonna be good. But yeah, go check out the Maine. I think it's funny. I need to look into why they're called the Maine because I'm not. Is that a place from in Arizona?
I don't know.
Maine? No,
Maine
that's
is
a
a
state. Okay, never mind.
All right.
Anyway, college
Um,
graduate over here.
Double bachelor.
I
holder over here.
know. I know. Hey, I didn't get it in geography. It's a average. The other song that I like is crap. I forgot.
Forgot that fast.
Yeah, I got dizzy. Hold on. Funny How. That's another good one of mine.
Oh, that one's good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to get this thing back on my shirt.
You good? Okay.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Turn. I forgot what this one is actually. Oh yeah, Sky Void of Stars by Catatonia. So this is the oldest band on this list. This band, this is their 12th studio album.
Damn.
They've been together. They've been a band for 33 years.
Holy shit.
Since 1991.
Oh my god.
And it's basically unrecognizable from their debut stuff. But it's still like very them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had like a million lineup changes and stuff like that, and genre switches. They used to be like doom metal, which is like that really slow, like low, like doom, doom, something like that. And now they're more like progressive rock, gothic metal sort of thing.
Interesting.
And obviously they had a lot of switches throughout the in between that. So yeah, so let's see. I'll say about this is first. I should try to organize my own thoughts because this, as much as I wrote essays, they're not very organized. They're sort of just like thoughts.
Yeah.
So the title "Sky Void of Stars" refers to how like sailors would be lost and unable to navigate on nights when there was no stars in the sky,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And it's a metaphor for being like lost and without direction, due to circumstances out of your control. And in their case, the reason they named this is because they came back from their like couple-year-long hiatus right before COVID hit.
Oh.
And they were unable to progress. So the idea for this album was created during quarantine, while they were unable to tour. Also, the sound of this album and like the theme and like the just the vibe of it is really appropriate for the time of the year it was released and the time of the year that I heard it, because it was released in January this year, but I didn't hear it until December. So I only listened to the song like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Because I've heard of Catatonia before, but I wasn't like a super huge fan. But I've heard like songs here and there and here and there.
Yeah.
Because they're like obviously they're super popular. They've been around for a long time, so it's one of those bands that's like of.
Yeah.
And it's like I've
But you're
listened to a
like,
few songs, but it's like okay.
I'm not really getting into it yet.
But then I heard this album and I was like, this is awesome. And this is I think their only album that's this sort of sound.
Yeah.
And this is more up my alley than their older stuff. So I don't really like doom metal very much. It's like speed up, come on, get on with it.
All right, guys,
let's move it on.
Come on, I got places to be. Where's the Nightcore?
Nightcore doom metal would be hilarious.
Oh man.
But it's really like it's got like I don't know. It's just like a cold time of the year vibe is what I get from the album. It's really just like cold, dark, rainy, alone with your thoughts sort of thing.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel about all we know of heaven, all we need of hell by Paris.
Yeah.
That's a very like because I would when I was listening to that when it was new. I think it came out
2016, I think.
No, it came out 2018.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or 2017. 2017,
because we were in high school when I listened to the singles. I remember.
Yeah, it came out like right before school had started, so I don't know, but I remember walking around campus and it was like dark. It was like always stormy and rainy, and I was like, "This is the perfect soundtrack for this."
I love when albums have that like tone where it's like it's perfect for this time of year.
Yeah.
Because like the first album that I said, Motionless and White, that album's perfect for like October.
Yeah.
Perfect for October, and then this one's perfect for like December to January, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, this like I said, it's great for like putting it on and like daydreaming. 'Cause it's just like it's not like slow, but it's not like fast either. It's just like chill
A good
vibe,
yeah.
you know, like that. And it's got good like poetic lyrics for thought provoking. It's just such a freaking good album. I love the guy's voice too. I don't know I forgot his name, but
Wow.
sorry, I don't memorize everything.
Sorry.
But it's just a really good album. My favorite song from it, my number one is Author. It's really good. Opaline, Absconder, Atrium, Sclera, and Impermanence. They're all so good. It's only a 15-minute album. It's less than an hour, but it's pretty. It's got 11 songs on it. Pretty good.
A good comeback.
Really good.
Nice. My number 7. Oh yeah, Something to Give Each Other by Troye Sivan.
His dancing is so cunty. I love it.
I know he did a good job. Look, the little Australian kid that started off on YouTube.
I know.
Look,
God,
look at him
I
now.
remember watching him on YouTube back in the day. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my
Oh my god.
god, oh my god.
What? Anyway, and I joked with Karina. I was like,
What?
it's like, oh, do you think? Or I know I told her it was like, when we go see Troye Sivan live, because I do want to see him live, we should dress up as Tyra Oakley. And she got scared. She's like, where are you going with this? And then she's like, oh, we're gonna dress up in the button up printed shirt, pastel hair, flower crown.
God.
Oh man,
That was a weird time.
Sorry, that's not even related to what we're talking about. I thought it was so crazy that they wanted Tyler and Troy together because Troy's like 10 years younger than him.
It was just
what a
thing.
time.
It was a time on the internet.
Hey, if
It was just like pairing people up just because
they were shipping Dan and Phil together, they might as well ship these two together.
I mean, Dan and Phil made sense.
I was gonna say, what's their age difference? 5?
Dan and Phil?
7.
Oh God.
Phil's older.
Phil was like 23 when they met, and he was 18. I think is what their difference was. 23 or 24.
5, something like that. Yeah.
Like that.
I mean, it's not a major group.
Yeah, it's 5 or 6 years, something like that.
It's not 10. But
yeah.
Hey, there's been
It
them
was a time
too.
on
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive and 12 years old and impressionable on the internet.
The internet is not the same as it used to be. Anyways, but yeah, this is the first time that I have listened to Troy before.
Mhm.
Which one called it? I listened to Blue Neighborhood, but the remix with Alicia Cara. That was really good actually. I think I had also listened to one of his other singles that came out like around 2020. I can't remember what the name of it was. I'm like, okay, good for you.
Yeah.
But then whenever Rush came out, that was stuck in my head like 24/7. I was like, yeah, I do feel a rush. Yeah, man, I'm addicted to your touch. Never taken drugs in my life. Because what's about?
I forgot what the name of it is. But
You said it too.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's about some kind of drug that I can't remember what it's called.
Not whippets.
No.
Ah, shit.
Some kind of spray stuff. I don't remember.
Whatever. Anyway, I could have sworn he said it in this song. I can't think of it. Anyways, but Rush was really good, and I was like, okay, all right, slay. And then whatchamacallit, this one got me started. Sorry, I forgot for a second. That one was really good too. So then the album came out, and I was like, all right, okay, that's pretty good. I like it. It's really nice. Like, it's really interesting what he went for. I mean, not that I can compare it to his older stuff because I didn't really listen to it, but he has a very like ongoing theme, and it's a very much kind of like, you know, like there's one song where he talks about, he's like, couldn't stop thinking about the fact that you liked bowl cut or you liked hair cut certain ways, so I did it, but you didn't like pay attention, or like, oh, what's the time where you're, that's a good song actually. What's the time like where you are? It's like kind of very like intimate, but also pretty like, what am I? You know, I'm just like here, kind of. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah. But
it's a really good album. It's really pretty easy listening to. He did a really good job. Good, congratulations, Troye Sivan. You made it on SNL. You got impersonated by Timothy Chalamet, highest of honors, I guess, in the twink community.
That's my community.
But yeah, I'm really excited for him because he's one of us. Right. You know, he's one of us.
One of us.
One of us.
I've only heard one song by him. It was his first one he dropped in when he first became a musician.
Was it Happy Little Pillow or something like that?
Yeah. It was just because I was still sort of not like into the community, but like
yeah,
I was on the outside of it, like moving out of it, but I was like, oh, that's good for him. And I listened to it, and I was like, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then I was, I got out of that. But,
That's a little kid who played Wolverine when he was a kid.
right.
But yeah, he did a really great job. 10 out of 10. We're so happy for you, Troy. So glad. So proud of you. That's really all that's really all I gotta say about it. It was really good. I like it. My favorite songs. Well, obviously the 2-track tiles. I like One of Your Girls. That gets stuck in my head all the time. Face card, no cash, no credit. I don't know what else says. Some look at you.
I don't know. I've never listened to that one.
Give me a call.
I've only heard Rush in this one. I haven't listened to the whole thing.
Rush. What's the Time Where You Are is really good. One of Your Girls is good. In My Room plays a lot on my shuffle, but it's still pretty good. I like it. Got Me Started's good as well. How many? 1, 2,
You don't have to do
3,
6. That's just
4.
what I did.
I did 5. But yeah, good job. Congratulations to him. Many nice things for you.
I only did 6 because I was doing 5, and then I kept feeling like I was leaving one out, so I was like, I'll just do 6.
I might have to do 6 for more than 5.
Yeah. I
when
don't
we
actually
get
remember what my number 7 is. Oh yeah, Not Without My Ghost, Amity Affliction.
They have 2 vocalists?
Yeah, a lot of metalcore bands do.
Yeah, that's true. I thought they all did. They was all the
a
same.
lot of metalcore bands have, not a lot, but like a good chunk of them have 2 vocalists. The only reason I could think of is because sometimes vocalists prefer to either sing or scream and not do both.
Yeah.
A lot of vocalists do both. But I assume there's some cases where like one is more proficient in screaming and more proficient in singing. Which it's sort of like with the way screaming is done correctly, you sort of have to be a good singer to be able to do it correctly. But I guess sometimes they're just like, I don't want to do the singing, I just would rather do the screaming, so they just get someone else to do the singing. Or in some cases, I think in their case,
they're
guy
singing and screaming.
The guy who was singing was I think the only original member left, and he was always doing singing, and then they brought that guy in later, I think is what happened. And then he started doing the screaming instead of him.
Hey, we need a screamer over here.
So this is like so Amity Affliction is a pretty old band. They're from, I think they were formed in 2003, I think.
God.
So there is, and this is when we were talking about like bands changing and stuff like that. This is a very classic Amity Affliction album, like what their sound is. And they, aside from like 1 or 2 like experiments here and there, they're pretty straightforward like in what they sound like. They haven't really changed much. And they're actually really what do you call it, like consistent and active. Like they put out an album like every 2 or 3 years.
Interesting.
They're known for like extremely personal songs, like dealing with like depression, suicide, gun violence, abuse, death, a lot of stuff about death and religion, stuff like that. And like cynical stuff like that. And that's what I was talking about bands changing, is like people are like, oh, it's just the same thing over and over. It's like, no, it's really not. It's just like some people are like, you got 2 ends of the spectrum. People are like, bands have to change, or else they're not good anymore. They can't stay the same. But then other people are like, bands can't change. They have to stay the same. It's like there can be a middle ground, guys.
What do you want?
It's like they can, if they found a sound that works for them and that they like doing, let them do it for as long as they fucking want. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to give them money. You don't have to listen to it.
Yeah.
It's like people are like, oh, it's like, because a lot of the reviews I found, I was trying to find like reviews, for like quotes like that. A lot of them were just like, oh, it's the same thing they always do. It's like, but it sounds good.
Yeah.
So who cares?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right. But then on the other side of that, it's like bands can change, and that doesn't mean they're bad anymore. We'll get into that later more.
Yeah.
But that's basically what their sound is. It's like a lot of stuff on like really, I don't know how to explain it, like angry, like stuff like that. It's very dark music. They have a couple songs that are like more positive, but it still has that same sound, but like the lyrics are more positive. it's really relatable to people who struggle with like depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts. Which I wrote, it may seem scary, emo, or dramatic to people who don't understand things like that, but really they're just being brutally honest.
Yeah.
And it's like really like cathartic, it's like that to listen to. It's album is good for when you get angry to listen to, angry in a sad way too. It's like just want to scream at something, just want to fucking throw something. So my favorite songs from this one are "Death in the Setting Sun" is my number one favorite, which I'm surprised that that's my number one favorite because it's it has, what's his fucking name, Andrew Newfield he's the singer from Comeback Kid. It's a punk band.
Is it?
It's a punk band. It's an older punk band. But I don't really like Comeback Kid, but I like the song, and I feel like he was okay in it, and I really like the song, obviously. So I'm like, I can get past him being in it, which I don't hate him or anything like that. I'm just not a fan of Comeback Kid.
Yeah.
Not Without My Ghost, the title track is my other favorite. God Voice, Fade Away, Hell Down Here, and Show Me Your God, which is the one that just played. All those are really good. The only song on here I don't super love is I See Dead People. It's got Louis Nux in it. He's a he was a rapper. He passed away, I think, before this album came out, but he was in it, but then he passed away before it got released, and so it's like a posthumous release.
Interesting.
He's a rapper. He didn't really rap in the song. It was more like it was just, they kind of incorporated both genres, but it wasn't like a straight up rap or anything like that. But I just didn't really feel like it fit. Not the song didn't fit, I just don't feel like he fit in there.
Interesting. Wow, you speak ill of a dead man.
I know, I don't dislike him or anything like that. I just feel like in this specific song, I didn't really like him that much. The song, though, other than that, was fine. And I liked all the other songs, too. This is also a pretty short album. It's only 10 songs, and it's only 38 minutes long. But really good. I loved it.
Only 38 minutes?
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's one, I think there's only one that's shorter than that on here.
Really?
This is like the second shortest like that. But yeah, that was my number 7.
What's mine? Number 6. Oh yeah, Unreal Unearthed by Hozier.
Hosier.
Hosier?
That's how most people say it, yeah.
I looked it up one time and then I forgot.
I think it's like Hosier or Hosier or something like that.
Yeah.
If there's something still to take, there's ground to break. Whatever's still to come, get some. Pull up the ladder when the flood comes. Throwing a rope until the legs have swung. 7 new ways that you can eat your young. Come and get some. Scared of the children for a walk run. Putting food on the table, selling bombs and guns. Twinkling easy like you eat your young.
I had listened to Hosier's first album when I went to college. I don't know. It was a time. Something's wrong with me. Anyway, not that it's bad. It's a good album.
I think everyone who listens to Hosier has a little bit wrong with them, but that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just, you have to be a little bit mentally ill to listen.
Yeah. It's for the mentally ill bitches.
To understand what he means. You
right.
have to have something messed up.
Well, he's really he does like a concept with like his albums, and I like concept albums.
I love concept albums.
I just fucking love concept albums.
I think all of my most
of
mine
yours
are. Albums,
yeah, they're pretty much. I can't even think of. I don't know if any I've listened to are, but anyway, this one is actually for sure.
Yeah.
But his first album was really good, and then I had listened to his EP. I hadn't listened to his second album. I don't know. I guess I was like, not that it's bad. Wasteland Baby.
Yeah, I actually like that one.
I know, I should listen to it. Like, I listened to the EP. I even did a review about it.
Sunlight's my favorite one from that album. That's really good.
I think Shrek I liked. But then I was like, that's fine, whatever. Like, I got over it. I'm fine. I'm healthy now. No. But then
I'm no longer mentally ill.
I am mentally ill. Which one called? I don't know what made me listen to this. I saw a lot of people talking about. I don't know. To me, a lot of people are like, oh, they categorize him as like a fae, or like he's I
just think he's a really poetic guy.
He is, like, and he does a really good job.
He's a really intelligent guy too.
Oh yeah, like he really knows what he does. He also, one thing I had liked about, and I noted in my review for his EP, Nina Cried Power, because that's the title track. He always gives credit.
Yeah, he understands where his music's roots come from, and he pays tribute to that.
Yeah, and he's never like, oh, I made it better.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I,
He's not like Elvis where he's like, I created it.
Yeah, no, he takes the time, and he's like, without these people, that was what that song, Nina Cried Power. He
Nina Simone,
Yeah, he takes the time, and he's like, because of her, we have a ton of music that you like now. So he's never one that's like, you know, he knows what he's doing, and he always like pays tribute to the people that, you know, need the tribute, and he never really takes the credit for himself.
Yeah.
But he is a very like he does a lot of it's a lot of storytelling, and I feel like this
Mhm.
one is a story. And I have caught glimpses of it here and there. A lot of people are like, "You don't get it. It's da 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 da," and I'm like, "Hold on, well, let me take my time." I really do need to kind of dive into the lyrics, um, but this is a really good album.
Yeah.
Really good.
It's surprisingly long for like a
Yeah.
for like a
There's a
mainstream
whole
sort of
right.
artist.
But that's the thing too about him is he's just like, I'm doing this.
He's like, I don't care. This is how many songs you're getting. You're gonna like it.
You're gonna like every single one.
You're gonna listen to my entire 2.5 hour album.
Right. But he does a really good job. Like I kind of had an expectation going in because I'm like, yeah, I've listened to Hosier before.
Mhm.
Like I really liked his first album, like I said. But going to this, I was like, whoa, like this is like it's different, but
Can I help you, Caster? No, he's just meowing.
Do you want to
Come
talk about your
here.
music?
Come here. He's been doing this lately. He's been sitting here like whining, like he wants us to pet him or something. Like that. But then he just like is talking.
Yeah.
He never really talked before though. What's wrong?
Hi, pretty boy. Hi.
He doesn't know what to do.
He's like, you called me over here. You're a pretty boy. Yeah, you're a pretty boy. Are you gonna take a fat dump now?
No, come here.
What a pretty boy. You see the screen?
Oh yeah, see those spots on his tail back on the back of his tail, the orange spots?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's so funny. You know, he has a little spotted tail orange because he's got a brother who's orange. That's funny. He's got orange on his tail. And then I realized, no, it was him literally singeing his tail in the fireplace. Because we noticed it once, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then he did, and then I noticed another spot last night, and it was right after he had done it again in the fireplace because he likes to lay on top of it.
Yeah.
And we always have to bat him off of there because I don't want him to do that. And I was like,
so
wait a second, you don't have orange, you just have a burnt tail.
That's just burn marks. This one's gonna take it down.
Oh, of course he is. And he's got some stinky ones.
Oh yeah.
Caster, what's wrong?
Oh. I forgot what I was gonna say.
He changed his mind.
Oh, he's like, no, you're watching me. Anyway, this
witnesses.
This is a really good album.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't know. No, because everyone's like, oh, he like they kind of memeified him for a second, like on Tumblr.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, like he's there's a word like the lesbian like
cottagecore.
No. Like he had like they gave him a title like something about lesbians. I don't know. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but also it's like, but I mean, like I don't know. It just.
I understand what they mean, but it's also like you have to appreciate him for what he is and not try to give labels to things.
No, but it's like it's way more than
it's more than just that. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like he's not doing it because he's like, oh yeah, I'm getting all these bitches.
Right.
He's like, I'm singing my songs.
Yeah, and I'm singing my silly little songs.
Some of them are not silly.
I know. You know what I mean.
Yeah. But my favorites on there. I mean, the whole album's pretty good. There is like that. There's one called Son of Nyx, and it's just music, and I'm like, okay. Every time it comes on shuffle, I'm like. Oh yeah, this is only just music. I forget. I really don't remember what made me listen to this album.
Probably because it was just so talked about.
That's true. This Shelby? The top two?
The Selby?
The Selby?
Well, it still like 2 words. So
yeah.
Probably Selby.
Part 2 is pretty good. The bass in that's really good.
Really?
I was like, oh yeah. The bam bam bam. I'm like, okay. Francesca's pretty good. Icarion's pretty good. Damage Gets stuck in my head a lot. I love that song.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. Something about it. It's with Brandy Carly. Brandy Carly? Yeah. I've never heard of her, but apparently she's really popular. And I'm like, oh. She's a good singer. Who We Are is really good. It's all really good. It's a really good album. First Light's pretty good as well. Like Anything But's good. Butcher Tongue's good. Oh, what's another one? I'm singing it, but I don't remember the name. Oh, Anything But's really. The whole album is just banger. It's so good. Is it nominated for a Grammy?
I think it was nominated for something. I'm not sure if it's a Grammy.
It better be nominated for a Grammy because it deserves it. It really does. We're getting into Grammy worthy territory here. He's sitting at the screen.
I know.
But yeah, like I think Hosier gets recognized, but for like the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good.
They recognize him as like a vibe instead of instead of an intelligent musician like he actually is.
I'm sure, but I'm sure people
Some
do.
people do, yeah.
But also, but a lot of people are like, they just reduced him to that, and it's like, okay, he's
Yeah.
way more than that.
Look at your butt
That
out of
one's
my
taking a
face. He's taking a
dump.
pee.
He's taking a piss.
Can this one get his butt out of my face?
I'm surprised they hadn't come out till now.
They probably just were like asleep or something. They had
Yeah.
just eaten right before you got here, so
Oh yeah.
they were all tired.
They're like, all right, now it's time to come on out. For all those of you who are just listening, the kitty cats are out to play.
Yeah.
The twinsies.
Hello, can I help you? I'm gonna have to put my laptop in my lap in a second.
Nope. Too bad.
This is the long one next. Jesus Christ. Okay, get up here or something. Go behind me. All right.
Okay.
Were you done?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
like, go listen to this album. It's really good.
All right. My number 6 is Super Bloom by Silent Planet.
You have been listening to this.
I fucking love this album so much. So this album, it's like metalcore, progressive metalcore with like elements of like space rocks with that. You can tell I love like sci-fi stuff, like even not even just from this album, but also like my favorite band Starset.
I was about to say, go
um,
to your favorite band.
And like I think there might be a couple more that have like sci-fi-esque things. I'm not actually sure.
Very theatrical.
Maybe not. Yeah. Oh, I love theatrical shit, which is surprising because I was not like a theater kid. I wasn't like ever like really into that sort of stuff. But with music, I love theatrical shit. Like I can't stand like musicals and like theater.
Yeah.
But when it's like like Ghost or like Starset or like who else does some of that?
I can't think.
There's other ones obviously that are blanking completely in my mind right now that I will think of in a second, and it's gonna make me sound stupid. Oh, Sleep Token, obviously.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to say anything.
So like obviously I love theatrical shit. They're no stranger to that. This is who I'm seeing in February at that rooftop place.
Oh,
They're gonna play this whole fucking album start to finish.
Oh, don't fall off the roof.
I know. But yeah, so and this is also a very, very heavily concept album. So this has got like a whole story behind it. I'm not gonna sit here and explain the whole story. I'm just gonna give like the gist of it because it's a whole thing. But first of all, the album's title is Super Bloom. Do you know what that is?
What is Super? That's not my mic. What is Super Bloom?
So
no. Is it an explosion or something?
No, it's a real rare phenomenon that happens in California and Arizona deserts where wildflower seeds all bloom at once.
Oh, interesting.
And,
just like the cover.
Yeah. And there's like really specific conditions in the air for it to happen. Right, and like soil.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the sun's going down.
Oh yeah.
We should turn on a light.
Turn on that light switch right there.
Anyway.
So there's like a lot of specific conditions for it to happen, like right, and so in a lot of like cultures, it's like considered like an event or like a sign, like a spiritual thing. In 2019, when I was looking this up, I saw pictures of it. In 2019, the super bloom in California was so massive you could see it from space. Like you could see like a patch of like color from space.
Interesting.
It was crazy.
Wild.
So the album's like concept is heavily inspired by the Lost Cove, which is a hotbed of paranormal events in North Carolina. It's like a ghost town like that. And it's loosely based on like a real like event that happened or like a legend. So this album is vaguely about a teenager who goes missing after an extraterrestrial encounter. And then the transformation they go through afterwards, and there's a whole like plot line of like space stuff. The actual, like I wrote here, the actual story is way too complicated to get into now, since it's not immediately apparent from listening to the songs. Like obviously you can tell there's a story going on, but it's out of order, so you can't pick it up immediately.
It's not linear.
Yeah, it's not linear, and so to actually know the whole story, you have to look at like the documents that go alongside merch drops and at concerts, and piece together the story that way. And there's like a whole Reddit thread where they sort of explain it, and I read that and it was really interesting. But basically it's really classic sci-fi with like aliens and wars and body horror and time hopping and different dimensions and shit like that. So like I said, the album isn't really in order, so it's meant to represent non-linear nature of time and the protagonist being disoriented and lost. The albums themselves, or the songs themselves, are completely enjoyable without knowing the story. That's what I consider a good concept album is both if the story works,
Right.
and also if it doesn't work. Like if the story works and you can hear it throughout the songs and you can understand the story, that's a good concept album. But also the concept album has to work as not a story too. Like you have to be able to just listen to it and not require homework.
Yeah.
Because that's like, okay, this is a little tedious.
It can like that. It can be fun.
It can be fun, but it shouldn't be required.
Yeah, you should be able to listen to album and get the idea
gist
of it. Yeah,
and enjoy
if
the songs
if you want to go further, you can.
Yeah. Because that's what I said next. I was like, I listened to this for months before I even figured out the story, before I even realized there was like a whole story.
Interesting.
I was just like, cool, sci-fi album, and it sounds really good.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, there's a story to it.
Oh, there's more.
Like obviously I knew there was a theme to it, and there was like something, but I didn't know there was like a whole like thread with like a whole story. So then this is more like towards the actual like not story, but like the real life side of things. I'm gonna kill her. So the album itself took 2 years because it was interrupted by a van crash where the band were touring in Wyoming in 2022, and their van flipped over in a snowstorm.
Oh my god!
And they were uninjured except for the singer who had a fractured back and a serious head injury.
Oh my god!
And once he recovered, they decided once the band came back, they decided to like take, because he had like a near death experience basically. And they were just like, fuck it, let's go crazy now. Let's just do whatever we wanted. Like where they're just gonna start experimenting. They're gonna do whatever we wanted. Because he always had like an interest in like paranormal and like spiritual stuff like that. And so he was like, let's just go crazy on this album. Let's take it super far. Let's do like insane shit. And so this is like way more experimental and heavy than their last previous releases. And it goes like way more extremes than they go before.
It's he's eating like, something. Sorry, we keep interrupting your story.
No, you're fine. Hey, I would rather be interrupted than my cat choke on tape.
Yeah.
But so. We're waiting.
He's like, don't look. Anyway, sorry, go on.
No, you're right. So one review said it's all complex stuff, and yet despite all the talk of aliens and dimensions, the story of Super Bloom and Silent Planet is deeply human. It's about trauma, lived experiences, and how they change us and open our eyes to new possibilities. It's about taking the good from something bad and turning something horrific into something beautiful. It's something that ultimately we can all relate to in one way or another. That's like the theme of the album.
Yeah, the basis. Yeah.
The basis of it. It's like, even though it's like all about aliens and all that shit like that, it's at the basis a story, and through that you can have any interpretation you want, which is mostly about like overcoming something awful.
Right.
So like I said, it's a lot more extreme, like the sound. Did I even play the? No. I just started talking, didn't even play the thing. I was like, I gotta get into this. Look, I love this album so much fucking much. That's how much I did it. I was like, wait a second, we never heard this. The sound design and the atmosphere and the vocal pattern, it's just like, it gives me like chills with a lot of it. It's so good. It's for something that's like this like complicated and heavy, it's like super well produced. Like it never felt like super like
over the top or like underwhelming or overwhelming.
It was just like perfect. It's like, good.
It all works together.
My favorite tracks, number 1 was Offworlder. Is that one that we just played? That song is so fucking good. Collider is my other favorite. Antimatter, Nexus, Dreamwalker, and Super Bloom, the title track. And all just in general, Anunnaki is good. Nexus is good.
The whole album's good.
They have a track called Euphoria, and it's with this guy called Alejandro Aranda. He's like a pop indie singer, and it works so well. It's like it follows the theme. It's like a heavy, track. Yeah. And he's in it, and it doesn't feel like he shouldn't be there.
He's out of. Sorry, You're fine.
I
keep getting the object that is in my hand and using it as the microphone.
That's why I just killed mine.
I like holding it.
I don't.
I want to hold something.
I don't like holding it because I feel like I would be constantly doing this and forgetting that I'm holding a microphone and just not talking into it.
Well, because then in my head I'm like, oh, you're holding something.
I don't know.
So, anyway.
Yeah, but those are my favorite songs. I was gonna rank this higher, but even though I love it so much, I feel like there's other ones that I do. Not that I like more, because what I should say, my top 10. It was very hard to rank these because I love them all so much. And then I ended up ranking them more of like, I don't even know how I ranked this one. This one honestly should have been higher. Actually, now thinking about it, I think I just didn't want to put
God.
Fall Out Boy lower, and so I was
Yes,
like,
this one didn't even put Fall Out Boy on their top 10, and
Yeah,
I was
I
like, that was the first thing I did.
yeah, and so I had to just move this one down to 6 instead of pushing Fall Out Boy down more because it's Fall Out Boy, and
Yeah.
I couldn't in good faith push it down more.
In morality.
So even though as number 6, I love it so fucking much. I've been listening to it constantly. I want to get it on vinyl so bad. I just haven't gotten the money to do it yet. And I'm paying off
Others.
I'm paying off a PC still, and I'm also paying in increments to get another vinyl for my number 2 album that I'll talk about later. Because it's like a whole box set with it's like a framed picture of I'm watching my shithead cat.
I'm watching it.
It's the vinyl, and it's got like a book of art with it, and it's also got a frame with. I'll show you later.
Yeah,
it's really cool. It's got like because I have to explain it when I get to the album.
Okay.
It ties into the album theme, so I'll tell you. But it's $129, and I'm paying on in 4 increments. So I'm gonna have to wait on getting the vinyl of this one, but I will eventually. All right. So, number
5, Guts by Olivia Rodrigo.
It's a bad idea, right? Seeing it tonight. It's a bad idea, right? Seeing it tonight. It's a bad idea, right? Seeing it tonight. Fuck it, it's fine.
Yes, I know that he's my ex, but can't two people reconnect? I only see him as a friend. Biggest lie I ever said. Oh yes, I know that he's my ex, but can't two people reconnect? I only see him as a friend. His tricks and valid to his bed. Oh yes, I know that he's my ex.
Guts by Olivia Rodrigo. Her sophomore album. No sophomore slump here.
I was about to make that joke.
And not get out of here. No sophomore slump. Another Grammy nominated album. Congratulations, bestie. Only if I had a ticket for a damn show. Again. God, I think I talked about this last time. Pissed me off that I could not get tickets again.
Yeah.
I've been there since day one. Since driver's license, not our bizarre fart. But anyway. So yes, Guts by Olivia Rodrigo. Really great album. I talked about it with my friend. Because like first, so okay, with Vampire, with title tracks, not title track. With Vampire, the single, the first single, it was really interesting what she had went through, because it's like in a way it was kind of like she was repeating the success of Driver's License, which that's always a god tier song. Such a good song. That'll come on shuffle, and I'm like, yeah, I did get my driver's license last
No,
week.
not in front of the page thing.
He wants to talk about Olivia Rodrigo too.
He's never heard of Olivia Rodrigo.
Who's Rodrigo? Sorry, Rodrigo.
Oh, he's in the microphone. Sorry if you just heard a bunch of sniffing.
Aw, we cutie patootie. Oh, you cutie patootie. Anyway, he likes the screen.
I've never seen it.
Oh, that's
My
why.
room. So.
Whatchamacallit? I mean, not that it's not repeating her success, but she was doing another slow song as her first track, which I thought was a very interesting move. And then she busted out with Bad Idea, right? And then that got people more into it's like, okay, all right. Then the album comes out. First, I will say, first listen all the way through, I was like, interesting. Okay, all right. Similar kind of concept to Sour. However, I do love Sour a lot more. Just nostalgic for me. It's only been 2 years.
I mean, to be fair, this last 3 years, it felt like a decade.
It's just been so long. That's why she's like, I'm releasing new music. I'm like, already? You just released Sour. But then I'm also like, oh yeah. Whatchamacallit? But after a while, not that I hated it the first time around. I didn't hate it. I had my favorites. But after a while, like even now, you get her thing also is a lot of people were like, oh, she's singing about like childish stuff, even though she was like 17.
Yeah. I think, because I was talking about this with Jessie, actually, not to put her on blast, but it's fine. No one's gonna watch this anyway. But I was talking about this with Jessie because we were talking about like I was talking about my top 10s, and I was talking about how I like you were getting yours together and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm pretty sure Olivia Rodrigo's gonna be on there, and I was like, I just can't get into Olivia Rodrigo. She was like, yeah, I can't really either. I feel like I just don't. I feel like a lot of her songs, like I don't remember exactly what she said, but something about like how along the lines of what you just said, not so like childish, but like just like stuff she doesn't relate to because she's older.
Yeah,
and so I feel like that's why some people call her childish because we're not her age,
Yeah.
and so I just don't relate to anything
Well,
she's talking about. And
It's
so it doesn't.
interesting because, like, I first got that when I listened to Gets. Okay, the reason why I liked Driver's License, I think it's because of the whole who it was about, what was all going on, but also, I don't know, it's weird because it's like it goes hand in hand. It's like, yeah, she's kind of like, she's singing about what she's going through, and she is younger, so it is not for us. It's
Oh yeah,
or for
I
our
should say
age.
too. Just because we're sorry, I was
Who's
just
fucking talking?
I know I'm saying, but like I don't. I wanted to because what you're saying. I wanted to say when I say sorry, I was trying to figure out how to word it.
It's okay.
When I say oh, we're saying we don't like her because she sings about like things we don't relate to. I'm not saying that's a reason to criticize her.
No, because there's some.
I'm just
I
saying
mean,
that's explaining why.
yeah,
She
I don't relate to a lot of stuff I listen to. I've never been in any relationship whatsoever. Say that for sure. Virgin for life. I've never touched a single pair of lips. Whatchamacallit. But there's some like that's like our friend Juvenile was like, I think I posted a TikTok about it too. Like, oh, you listen to a lot of Taylor Swift for someone who hasn't dated, and it's like, okay. Or no, Olivia Rodrigo for someone who hasn't dated, and I'm like, okay. Whatchamacallit, I can't move. The highest honor. The cat's sitting on my lap. And he got up.
I think he wants your straw. What he wants.
No.
You can push him off if you need to.
No straw for you. Anyway, whatchamacallit. Was it Olivia or was it Taylor? I don't know, but it's like, yeah, but like sometimes it's just a vibe, and it's
Yeah.
But it's funny because like my favorite song off of Sour is Favorite Crime. Such a fucking good song, but it's not like because it's like, oh yeah, I know what she's going through. It's just you can for me a lot of songs like you can feel the emotion in the songs and you can feel like the storytelling. And that's why Taylor's one of my favorite artists as well, is because like even with her, like some of the stuff she writes about, it's not what she's going through, but she wants to tell. She just tells the story. That's what the whole big thing about like Folklore and Evermore was.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, oh, it's about this. It's this guy and this guy. And she's like, no, it's just a story I wanted to tell. Or not a story I wanted to tell, but I was just like, oh, what about here?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And what about this? Like this idea, because then like even for Lovers, she was even like, she wrote one of her best songs on the album, Death by a Thousand Cuts. She's like, I'm not going through a breakup right now, but I'm like, what would I write if I was going through a breakup right now? Whatchamacallit. And so I think with Olivia, that's another thing too. It's like it's relatable, but also it's like for me, it's how she's singing it, like her emotion through it, and just like the production of it all. Because Favorite Crime is so fucking good. I'm sorry, it's not even on this damn album. But anyways, for this album, for Guts, yeah, my first listen through, I'm like interesting because there's like Ballad of a Homeschool Girl, and the first time I listened to it, I was like, all right, okay, because she says because in the chorus she goes like, oh shit, how's she do? But she's like, every time I step outside, it's social suicide. And then she keeps repeating, it's social suicide. I'm like, girl, you gotta stop. And then like there's another song on the album, like Pretties and Pretty. And at first it's like, and then there's also Teenage Dream. I don't listen to that as much because it's really kind of sad. But I talked about it with my best friend, my other best friend. Because she's a big Olivia fan. I like how I'm touching it like she's it's like right, it's like, yeah, it's childish, but also at the same time the stuff she does sing about, because like she's still pretty young.
Yeah, she is.
And like there's a lot of like with Teenage Dream and with Pretties and Pretty and Jealousy off of Sour, even alone with Ballad of a Homeschool Girl, and even Lacey, like the topics like what she's singing about is pretty heavy stuff for her age. Like even with Sour, like it's just like at first when you thought Sour, it's like, oh, we're gonna get some poppy stuff because we had oh shit, what's it called? What's the other?
Good for You.
Yes, thank you.
That's the only one I know. So.
Thank you. God, and everyone's like, oh yeah, but like the rest of the album is pretty kind of like slow and like not dramatic, but like very like
emotional.
Very emotional for someone her age. And I think that's why she stands out with a lot of people. And a lot of people are like, oh yeah, she gets me because blah blah. And then even with Guts, oh, he's singing.
He's so pretty.
He wants to hear.
Got an audience now,
right? He's like, you got my attention. But like with Guts, it's a very like she's able to articulate what someone her age feels And because at that time when I was her age, it was very hard for me to say like, I don't feel comfortable in my skin, or oh, I do judge myself with other people, or yeah, I'm being compared to a lot of people. You're constantly compared to others in your age, and especially for her being in the spotlight and all this stuff and what they expect from her and everything. And I feel like guts really, like, the title really, I think it fits because she's like, I'm spilling my guts, and it's like, yeah, she's still going, she's talking about like her experiences with all this stuff. The cover, I thought it would be a little more Soleil. It's like, yeah, I like the purple concept. A lot of people are like, she already did purple for Sour, and it's like, yeah, well, it's a pretty color, so let her speak. But I did wish, like, there's a alternate cover for Target that they sold, and she's like on her bed. I got it as a t-shirt too. She has her legs kind of like up on the wall, and she's kind of like that. And I'm like, I feel like that fits a little more than the rings. I don't know. That's just me.
I feel like the rings were just made to sell the rings.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone get those rings.
I've seen them on other sites, and like I've seen people be like, "Oh, the
like
knockoff
recreate
ones,"
it,
or
yeah.
whatever. But I don't
But
think people
no,
wear them like out. I just see people like you wear them for pictures. And like that.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Which I get as a subtle, like, oh yeah, here's the title, and it's cool.
I think it works as an album cover design. I'm very passionate about graphic design. And like album covers, I love album covers when they're good.
Yeah.
And so I think that works as
the title to be
the title of the album. It's a fun way to show it.
Yeah.
And since she wants, so a lot of times this is like it's a distinction with like pop albums and like metal. What I listen to, pop albums usually have the singer on the cover.
Yeah.
Or at least some form, even if it's like a small picture or something like that.
Right.
And so I think it works in a way to tie in both her being on the picture and a fun way to put the album rather than just having it like say Guts right here.
Yeah, in the graphic, yeah.
And also show like what she's wearing, how like her style, something like that. What was her old
the other cover?
Yeah, what was that one?
That one, she's standing with her arms crossed, and
she has got her tongue out.
Sour, and then that worked out too. Because it's like it looked like, oh yeah, happy, but then she's like, no, it's sour.
I could like see it in my head, but I couldn't quite figure it. So
don't worry, it's forever ingrained in me.
So I think that is I think having it on her fingers as a physical ring rather than that also ties in with her last cover, having it be a physical object on her.
That's true.
Rather than being graphic design on it. And also that also works because that means the album has no has no actual type on it. No font, has nothing on it. It's all a picture and a physical object on her.
Yeah.
Rather than any kind of graphic design besides the parental advisory thing. But
that's not.
And so that makes for an interesting album cover. It's always interesting when an album cover has no text on it.
Yeah.
It makes you be like, oh, what is that?
Yeah, that's like when Taylor released Folklore. Sorry, I keep talking about Taylor.
No, you're fine.
I mean, but Taylor released Folklore. That was, I think, the first album cover that did not have any text on it. And then with, like you said, like they always like pop, for the most part, pop, like they have them on the cover. That one, I think, is the first time
it was her back of her head.
No, that's Evermore. That also doesn't have text on it.
That was the trees. That's right.
Yes, her in the trees, and she's very tiny.
I always get those two confused.
I know, like, cause like even like her debut, she's front and center. Second album, she's front and center. Third album, she's front. You know, like it's mostly her. Lover kind of went away with that also because she was a little smaller, and it's mostly the clouds.
She's still on the cover,
but she's still on the cover. Even 1989. Yeah, I'm trying to think. But Folklore and Evermore are the first where, yeah, like she's there, but it's not. She's not really like she's super tiny.
She's too up.
And then Evermore, she's not looking at you; it's her back, which I always thought was an interesting cover for her. And then she went back to being on the cover for Midnights.
I think out of Taylor's albums, visually, like the album covers, Folklore and the other one, Evermore, are the most interesting ones to look at. Because I always prefer an album cover that has interesting elements rather than just a picture.
Well, the Speak Now is a painting.
Speak Now.
She's the one in the dress.
Is the new one or the
old one?
Old one? I can't remember what that looks like. I've never seen that one.
Just like how Katy Perry's Teenage Dream was a
painting.
A painting.
I knew that one, but I mean, I'm saying it's still her on the cover.
Though. Yeah. No, I got you.
Even if it's a painting or a reproduction or a Photoshop, it's still a person's face on the cover.
I want to say it was a painting, unless people are lying to me.
I don't know.
I always like that cover. Anyway, yeah, it's my favorites. Vampire, obviously. Bad Idea, right? Obviously. Get Him Back. it's a 3-run track. It's Getting Back, Love is Embarrassing, such a good song, and then The Grudge. The Grudge is my number 1 song on this album. Again, it's a slow
I
song.
thought you were gonna say the Grinch.
No, sorry, not The Grinch. The Grudge. It's such a good song. Like, oh my god! When I first heard it, I had to listen to it twice.
Really?
Because I was like, oh my god, you should listen to it. Anyway, you're not gonna like it.
I would probably not like all of it.
But it's the same as Favorite Crime. It's so
Mhm.
funny how both of my favorite songs are for 2 albums, and it's like very like heartbreaking, emotional songs. Have I gone through that? No. It's so good. I can't even like. I just can't keep saying it. The other thing I keep saying is it's just so good. The Grudge is so good. Like
It's just so good. It's just so good. It's just so
she
good.
played everything in that song, and I think that's her strongest suit is her songwriting.
Mhm.
She knows exactly how, like I said, to articulate the emotions perfectly. Like with Favorite Crime, it's interesting because it's like a theme.
Mhm.
You know, it's like you use me as an alibi, cross my heart. You know, oh shit, what's the lyrics? Cross my heart as you cross the line.
Mhm.
You know, and like every time a siren sounds, I wonder if you're around. That's Favorite Crime. So it's like she kept with that, and then The Grudge, it's very like devastating, heartbreaking. Like my favorite lyric, and I also am like, you know what? Yeah, I do relate to this part though. Is hold on, I have to get it stuck in my head. Every argument I won against you in my head, in the shower, in the car, in the mirror before bed. Yeah, I'm so tough when I'm alone. And I make you feel so guilty, and I fantasize about a time when you're a little fucking sorry. I was like, oh!
She said that.
So good. I was like, that's me. That's me right there. Me making up arguments in my head in the shower. But you know what? It's about damn time that I tell you this. And it's like I'm talking to myself. Anyway, such a good. She deserves every single award. She does an amazing job. People call her cringy, and I'm like, I do not care. She's a theater kid, okay?
I wouldn't call
Let
her
her some slack.
cringy. I just say she's a teenage, early 20s girl.
She's
And so I don't know how old she is.
20.
And so there's always
I
going
don't
to be
remember.
moments in their career when they're going to be
Oh,
seen
yeah.
as cringy by people who are older. But
Yeah.
that's just
That's
because
just how it goes.
that's just because we're older.
Yeah.
And other people are older than us. And obviously, we're seen as cringy by 40-year-olds, and
Yeah.
we see 20-year-olds as or 19-year-olds as cringy, whatever. It's just how people are.
That's how the
It
way the
doesn't-
world works.
That's why I was saying. That's why I interrupted you to say, like, by the way, what I meant.
Yeah.
What I meant was not when I say, oh, we say we don't like her music because she
she's-
sings about teenage stuff.
yeah.
Not because that's a reason to criticize her. We're saying that's just why we don't relate.
We're just
But
like,
that's not
it's
a
not-
reason to hate her.
It's not for me. It's for them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what. I'm gonna get to that next album. And people need to learn how to say it's just not for me.
Yeah.
People just can't understand that
Yeah,
anymore.
that's just some artists. I'm not gonna name their names, but there's something. It's like it's not for me. It's for them.
Yeah, and
I
it's like
can't- I
that's
can't say
fine. You
anything.
don't have. It doesn't have to go any further.
I
than
had
that.
my time. They can now have
Yeah.
theirs. Anyways, go check it out. If she doesn't win that damn Grammy, I don't know who she's against.
I don't know either.
If she doesn't win it, then it's rigged. Unless somebody else who is also worthy wins it, then I will forgive. That's how I feel every award season. I'm like, okay, if my favorite doesn't win, as long as somebody else who I know would be grateful
Yeah.
and who it's also worth them winning, I will allow. Anyway,
Alright.
there you go.
And my number 5. I'm sorry in advance to you.
Well, at least it's top 5.
My number 5 is "So Much for Stardust" by Fall Out Boy.
So fucking good.
But there's no way off the hamster wheel on this rat race. I'll never go. I just want to be invited. Oh, got to get up, get the feeling, don't fade it, sending my love from the other side of the apocalypse. And I just about sweat. Don't look back. Every lover's got a little.
Also, I just like this song more than that song.
Uh,
I don't. Not that I don't
What
like.
the wrong with Homie Like a Grudge?
Okay, let's get into it. Not that I don't like. So that's also like why this one's not higher. It's not because I didn't like the album. It's because there was more songs that I was like, eh. Because when I
On this
say,
album?
well, not that I hated and not that I even didn't like. It's just ones that I was like, I don't replay a whole lot.
We have talked about this
We've
before.
had this conversation, yeah.
And every time I'm still so
yeah, and
like,
also
why?
I also feel like I couldn't rate it higher because let's see, two of the songs are interlude tracks, which I don't
Oh yeah.
I don't mind. It's
I
just,
don't
like,
consider
I feel like,
those.
I feel like okay, so this is the thing that I like well, it's also sick. It's taking up space on the record, though. Is what I'm saying. So,
It is and it isn't.
because
Well, I can see why
I-
Baby
you're
Baby
fine.
Annihilation goes,
yeah,
because it's Pete's emo poetry again.
Yeah.
It's not the same, but it's
but
there.
the thing is, the reason I don't mind Pete's emo poetry, but
I'm all for it.
I prefer it when it's attached to the end of a previous song and not on
They
its own.
talked about getting out, but not
forgetting
forgetting about how my worst fears are letting out. He said, "Why put a new address on the same old loneliness when breathing just passes the time until we all just get old and die? Talking's just a waste of breath, and living's just a waste of death. And why put a new address on the same old loneliness? And this is you and me and you until we've got nothing left."
Anyway,
I comb the crowd.
anyway,
It's good.
It is. I like Pete's emo
But
poetry.
it is at the end.
I
yeah.
prefer when it's attached to the end of a song rather than on its own, because then
I did think that was an interesting choice.
when you see, like, before an album comes out, when you see the track list, you think, oh, nice,
Yeah.
14 songs or 13 songs.
Yeah.
But then you actually listen to it, and it's actually 12 songs, and there was 2 of them weren't actually songs. It feels a little, I don't know.
no,
like,
I get you.
So I prefer
Yeah.
it to be attached to the end, because it starts at this too, where they have those really, really long outros, and it's like, or like interludes between songs, or like intros and outros like that. But they attach them to the ends of other songs. They don't have
Yeah.
them separately as individual tracks, because that way it's not taking up space on the track list, and it doesn't make you think there's more songs than there are.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not saying that like this record disappointed me or anything like that. I'm just saying I prefer when they do that rather than put them as individual things, because then, although it does make it easier to skip them whenever they're individual, because like if I'm like listening to like in my playlist or whatever,
Yeah.
like on shuffle, I don't have to like keep skipping the Pink Seashell because I don't want to hear Ethan Hawke talk at me for 2 minutes.
What is he? I had it.
I only have the first like 3
memorized, but it's
words.
like-
I only know the first 3 words. I always
My
skip
mom
it.
and dad got divorced.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't care.
My dad bought me. I thought it was one of his things from an interview, and I was
I
like,
thought it was too.
I don't care, Ethan Hawke. What does this have to do with it? And then it turns out it's from a movie called Reality Bites.
Yeah.
I was like, oops, it's not even him.
Still don't care.
It's not even him saying it.
Baby Annihilation is a little more forgivable because it's Pete's poetry.
Yeah, and it makes sense.
But
Alligator Prince and
Pink Seashell,
crocodile
I'm just-
tears.
Pink
Too
Seashell,
many to count.
I'm just like, get the fuck out of here.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm always like, shut up, Ethan.
Yeah, not that I hate Ethan Hawke or anything like that. I'm just like, I want to listen to the music.
It's like,
you know?
all right, I'm on it, Patrick.
And so yeah, so that's also why I didn't rate this higher, is because those two, and then also I just don't like What a Time to Be Alive.
What?
I just don't like that song. I always skip that one. I don't.
I'm trying to get stuck in my head. Hold on. Hold on. There's like 50 songs going through my head right now. Fuck. Anyways, I like it.
Everything is lit except for my serotonin.
That's nice.
It's
It makes
fine.
sense.
It's fine. It's one of those lyrics that in the moment I'm like, but in like 5 years I'll be like, oh, that was kind of cunty actually, because that's how I felt with
I'm waiting for that.
That was how I felt with the
I'll stop wearing black when I make it darker.
at the time I was like, seriously, Pete, and then like 5 years later now I'm like, that's hell yeah, Pete, that's so cunty. I love that. So it'll
funny.
probably grow on me, but
Yeah, because it's playing off of
I know I get it.
the brain connecting.
I get the reference. I understand.
It's multiple layers.
But also I don't. So I like, obviously, a lot of some of these albums. A lot of them are written during quarantine. They're about
This
the
is it,
pandemic,
yeah.
like that. But I prefer when they don't explicitly say it, because then it dates the album and then it dates the song. It's like the same thing like in like TV shows when they use like Twitter or whatever. It's like you're dating the show.
I don't know.
Or modern slang, you're dating that. And so I feel like when he says like quarantine blues or whatever, I'm like,
That's
you're just
true.
you're dating the album, and
Then you would like This
then
Is
it's
Why
not-
by Paramore.
and it's not timeless anymore. And music can be timeless if it doesn't specifically reference a time period. Anytime they specifically reference something that is immediately going on,
Well, then
instead of
when they reference like political stuff, you don't
they're
think
not
that's
saying
the same?
they're not saying Donald Trump. They're not saying the war in XYZ. It's
More
metaphors,
on the,
and it's like
okay.
the way it makes you feel, or like the way that it makes making them feel, or like
Yeah,
it's hard to explain, but
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's true.
and so it's like when they specifically say we're in quarantine, or we're this, or it's the pandemic,
I
or
guess so,
COVID,
because
it's like,
whatchamacallit is also like they talk about the time, but it's also not dated. Shit, what's it called? The one with Brendan. Have you ever?
$20 nosebleed.
Yes, thank you. I keep wanting to say America's Sweetheart. Have you ever wanted to disappear?
How is that one dated?
Well, no, I'm not saying it's not dated, but it's a political song.
Oh yeah, well that's why
Yeah.
it works because it's not dated.
It's not. He doesn't specifically say. Yeah, that's true. That's
So
true.
that's the only reason I don't like. I said maybe it'll grow on me, but as of right now, that one's another one I just don't like. But all the other ones, I like them. My favorites, and I'll get into my whole rant in a second. But my favorites are my number one is "Fake Out." That one song is so fucking good.
Take the night, go through the darkness. Anyways,
So Much for Stardust title track is
that's so
fucking good.
Oh, the first time I heard that, I was getting breakfast, and he's like, "In another life."
Oh my god! When I heard that, I stopped what I was making. I was making
like,
food.
I was driving, and then he says that shit, and I'm like, "Oh!" I wanted to pull over so bad. I was like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! It's so good! It's so good!" Oh man,
And my favorite, the Kintsugi Kid.
that's a good
I
one.
love that one. Heaven, Iowa.
That's a good one.
Love from the Other Side.
That
one
was
is what-
a solid first track.
Yes,
or
that-
not first track.
First single.
First single. I
That's
kept
what-
trying to say that all day.
It got me
Single.
so hyped for this album that I ordered it on vinyl before I even
Yeah.
heard the rest of it.
I was sick with COVID, and I was like, the only thing pulling me through is Fall Out Boy.
Yeah. And then I Am My Own Muse, my other favorite.
So
Obviously, I like
good.
a lot of them. So good right now. I've been listening to it a lot for some reason. It's really good. Flu Game, obviously, I like. It's a really good song.
I
when
can't. I
okay,
have to keep my.
I know. When I say okay, I don't want to say also when I say I like that song, I'm not saying oh yeah, I listen to it once in a while. I mean I like it. It's a really good song.
It's a good
I listen to
song.
it regularly.
Mhm.
It sounds less enthusiastic when I say it, but I mean it. I really do like the song. I
Yeah.
listen to it a lot.
Yeah.
And so now for my rant.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait, we didn't have one.
So I want to say it's a masterpiece, really.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh no. Hold on. Well,
What?
I wanted to get into mine, but I'm gonna bring it now. How it was not nominated for a Grammy.
yeah.
I brought it in the last fucking episode. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
yeah,
This should have deserved to be nominated.
yeah.
Ugh,
It felt
pisses me off.
It felt like
Anyway.
a spiritual successor to Fully Ado.
Yes.
Which I think Patrick said too. He said that this is
I
what
think
it would have
so.
been. This is what they would have been making if they hadn't taken the hiatus. I think is what he said. And it sounds like they're going back to the pop punk sound that got them started, but modernizing it in a way that sounds fresh. And I want to say, despite saying that, I also want to point out that bands changing their sound, experimenting is not a bad thing.
Let's see.
I couldn't find a
For fucking Mania. There we go.
Oh, I haven't even gotten to that.
I know.
I couldn't find a review to add a quote from a review because all of them are saying the same thing, which is it sounds like Fall Out Boy again, which is so
Boys always
stupid
fucking sounded like themselves.
because
Pisses me off.
Because while I understand what they mean, it comes off as just rude because what they really mean is it's not insert post hiatus. It's not Infinite on High.
It's not Uma or they're like, oh good, we're away from Uma Thurman.
or
We're
they're
away
Young
from
and Menace,
Irresistible, Young and Menace. Yeah. And
they're-
it's like, what's wrong with those?
they're using Fall Out Boy's return to a true pop punk sound as an excuse to justify their hatred for those albums, which
Yeah.
it's fine if they don't like them, but I understand how that's what I was gonna say. And they're trying to prove that old Fall Out Boy was better. They're trying to prove that they were justified for not liking this and shitting on the
like-
band.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you continue.
Okay. Because as I say, it's a double-edged sword because while I understand that people have their preferences, it doesn't
Yeah.
justify being nasty towards the artist just because you like something they did previously or you don't like what they're doing now. Like so much Stardust doesn't sound like Fall Out Boy again. Mania sounded like Fall Out Boy because Fall Out Boy made it.
Yeah.
American Beauty, American Psycho sounded like Fall Out Boy because Fall Out Boy made
Mm-hmm.
it. Just because you didn't like it, like
Just because it wasn't it's because there's a lot of people that are like basing it off of their first album, and it's like they made that when they were like fucking 15.
that's literally what I said.
I mean, it's a
here.
good album. Love it.
Yeah.
Love Take This to Your Grave. However, they've progressed since then.
Yeah.
Both them personally, and also the music scene itself.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because it's like same with I don't know how to, I don't. Okay, so even with like the music itself, because like a lot of like with what they were experimenting with, they're not just doing just guitar or drum
Yeah.
and incorporating more electronic stuff into it. Like same with like country. Like they got mad at Lil Nas X. I think I brought this up last time But I'm mad at Lil Nas X for trying to say that Old Town Road was country.
Which it is.
And it is. Because one, him, and then two,
No, girl.
because of like it was on a trap beat.
Mm-hmm.
But yet Jason Aldean had a song that
Wow.
had a trap beat.
Mm-hmm.
Then on the dirt road late or something. And he even rapped in this. I want to say it was Jason Aldean.
Mm-hmm.
One of those fucking white men. Anyways. But like he was even rapping he even said himself like, I don't know how he said it, but like it's funny because he even said like, well, I mean it's still country. Like
Mm-hmm.
country has a lot of elements from other music
Yeah.
genres. You know, like it can be all these things. I mean, now we don't like Jason Aldean because he's I don't think that was him that said. I don't know. He's dumb right now. Yeah, I think he needs to go back to what he used to talk about and be like,
Yeah.
yeah, you should listen to yourself again. I don't remember, but it's been such a long time. But yeah, a lot of people were like, no, Old Town Road's not country. But it's like, you can incorporate other types of music into your genres, but still make it your genre.
Right.
And like,
Hey.
there's nothing, but there's also nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. Like if that's what you want to do and you're doing it good,
Mm-hmm.
then that's fine.
Yeah. Like when I said last episode when we were talking about Paramore and I was like, oh, I prefer their older stuff, you know, I'm not really a fan. I'm not a fan of their new stuff, but it's just not like what I prefer to listen to. That's my preference, but just because that's my preference, that doesn't ever give me an excuse to start shitting on Haley or like
the now stuff,
yeah, or like stuff like that. It's just not for me. And
Yeah.
people nowadays, they're like, oh, well, what about me? Like the whole thing. Remember that trend on TikTok where it's like the bean soup or whatever, and there's like, well, if I don't like bean soup, can I replace it with something else? Or like that
What
person.
the fuck are you
that person
talking
who was
about?
ranting about it was that girl. She was ranting about how she was researching a bean soup recipe, and all the comments were like, if I don't like bean soup, can I replace it with something else? And she was like, can you people not think for yourselves?
Like,
It's
get off
just
the
not for
bean
you. Just
soup.
don't do it. It was like that's the whole
Yeah,
thing about like what about me?
interesting.
It's like what if I don't like this? What if I don't like that?
There was like
It's like
that
it's just
TikTok
not for you.
that TikTok you sent me where the guy or the person was like, read some books once in a while.
Yeah.
Someone commented, I can't read.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, and then they were like, okay,
Yeah.
why are you here?
Yeah, it was that person who was like, reading is actually a trigger or something like that. And it's like, well, then it's not for you.
Okay, they're not talking to you then.
Yeah. But that's what I was saying. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Which I think is interesting because I can't get into Paramore right now. We'll
Yeah, I
get into
know.
Paramore later.
Oh yeah, we will. But it's like everyone is like extreme, like black and white, like
It's
this or that.
crazy.
It's like no one's
with music.
Yeah, with anything
Yeah,
nowadays. It's
well,
like no one
yeah.
can just be neutral on things more. It's like it's fine. It's just not for me, but I don't hate it. I don't like it. It's just middle of the road.
Yeah.
And so people are like, because this has been happening with this has been like architects recently. They had one of the band members die in 2016.
Oh.
It ties into this. And he was the main guitarist and main like songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
And so they took a couple years off, and then they came back, and it was like more like less super heavy. It was still heavy because it's still metal, but it was like less like just full on screaming, less like complicated guitar work, more just like sort of metalcore. And people were fucking vicious about it. They were like, the wrong band member died. He would have been disappointed in you guys. It was like also the guy who died, his brother is the drummer, so he was still in the band. And they were like, oh, and it was like Tom would have hated, like this guy who died. It was like Tom would have hated this. He would have hated what you guys are now. Y'all fucking sellouts. And they were like so vicious about them like not doing what they wanted them to do. They were like, oh, they fell off. They sold out. They're flops now. And it's like they're just doing what they want. And like then they came out with an interview and they were like, yeah, the reason we changed our sound is because we took a few years off and we grieved his death and we with the therapy we were all happier now. Like and they were like, well, you sounded better when you were depressed. Like that's what a lot of the comments were. And I was like, are you guys fucking insane? Are you genuinely insane? Are you sick in the head?
Yeah.
And so
they need to go to therapy.
And so it's like that's what's going on with architects right now.
That's crazy.
And so it's like okay, back to Fall Out Boy. It's like I like that Fall Out Boy returned to this type of music because it's what made me fall in love with them.
Mm-hmm.
But my love for this type of music doesn't cancel out my like for their previous albums. It doesn't automatically mean I hate their
two before
the post-hiatus albums.
Yeah. Save Rock and Roll is
it's so good.
Banger.
Dude, when I was in fucking what was it, like 8th grade when that came out?
Changed
my fucking life.
Oh yeah. I wasn't even listening, but it did.
Yeah.
Change the
Changed the chemistry of my brain.
literally.
So like it's just
Yeah,
it's one of those things.
people like to shit on American Beauty, American Psycho because it's
That's
like
a good album.
that's like it's good. I'm sorry.
Sorry you hate fun.
Twin Skeletons.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my god, one of the best closers ever.
Yeah. It's like some bands evolve and change their sound, like Fall Out Boy
Yeah.
or Architects or whatever. Like
Yeah.
Linkin Park did, which that was a whole thing back in 2017.
Yeah.
And some bands like I think the examples I had here were Amity Affliction because I talked about them earlier.
Mhm.
Seether, Slipknot. They find a song or find a sound they like and they stick with it. And they change a little bit sometimes, but they just stick with it and it works and that's fine too.
Yeah.
Like bands can change or they don't have to. It's like
Yeah. As long as it sounds fine.
yeah. All this to say, people who hate when bands do what they don't do what they personally want are stupid because at the end of the day, this is what I'm writing. This is musicians. I can't talk. Musicians are artists, and we're being allowed to hear the art that they produce, and we can give them money, but no one's forcing us to. So if you don't like it, doesn't give you you just don't listen to it. Just because you bought a CD one time or you went to a concert one time doesn't give you the right to like dictate what
They're like, oh, they
got
gotta listen to me because I'm giving them their money.
It's like they're humans, not content factories. It's
I know,
like,
yeah.
it's crazy.
Now, people like change over time, and they want to talk about other things or they want to say it a certain way, and it's like let them,
yeah. And back to this album, it's fucking amazing.
So
it's
good.
It's pop punk emo music for the kids who grew up in the early 2000s.
So good.
Listening to pop punk emo music because the band grew up and we grew up.
Yeah.
And so it gives the same feeling like when I listen to this. It was the same feeling I got listening to like Infinity on High or Folia Do because I listened to those when I was 8 to 10 years old for the first time, and it's that's what I wrote here. Is like it's their OG sound but matured because these guys aren't 18 to 20-year-olds anymore.
They know they're
40 years old with wives and kids.
I think even Patrick said himself like he doesn't like want people to feel like, or I don't know how to word it, but he basically is like, we have young fans, we have old fans, we have new fans, we have fans who've been with us forever. And that's fine. I like that. Yeah. Like he's like
it's for everybody.
Are there for everyone.
Yeah.
As long as they're there for us.
Yeah.
He's not like they're not gonna gatekeep their sound.
Right. It's this album is so fucking good.
So good.
And the only reason I was like not that
low
not that what I'm trying to say. It's like I liked it so much. It hurts, not hurts, but it's like it sucks that them going back to the sound has brought out more Mania and post-hiatus haters.
Oh yeah, I know.
But
I will say I follow the right people online. There's a lot more people that are like, Mania was good, y'all are dumb, and I'm like, thank you.
Oh, one of the podcasts I follow on Twitter, like I think they were getting roasted in the quote tweets before.
Oh, they were shitting on.
They were shitting on Mania, and I was like,
I'm sorry. Listen to Sunshine Riptide,
right,
and love yourself. You are my truest feeling yet.
Listen to Bishop's Knife Trick and tell me.
Listen to Bishop's Knife Trick.
And tell me it's not a fucking amazing
sifting
song.
through the sand, looking for pieces of hourglass. Hold on, I gotta sing it in my head.
It's close though. I got the gist of it.
Trying to get it all back, put it back together, as if the time has never passed. I know I should walk away, but I just want to. What does he say?
Let you break my brain.
Break my brain.
And I can't seem
to get a grip, no matter how I live with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was waiting for you.
These are the last blues that we're ever gonna have.
Your recite the whole song.
God. Oh, it's such a fucking
Mania
good
is
album.
good. American Beauty, American Psycho is good. Save Rock and Roll is good. What were the EPs they had in between there? I will say I wasn't really a fan of what was that one?
What are you talking about?
The punk EP.
What?
The EP.
Paxam Days?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, you didn't like that?
No, I don't.
Oh, I love that one.
I'm not really a fan of hardcore punk music.
Oh, one of my favorites is Caffeine Cold. It's so fucking good.
I liked
Just wanna fill you
I
up
can't remember what it's
with
called.
such dread.
There was only one song on that album that I was like,
suck it out, suck it out till I'm dry and dead. Sorry, it's good.
I know you're fine. I can't
Are you
remember
talking
what it's
about
called though.
Lake Effect Kid?
No, it was that EP. That's what I'm talking about. It's Paxam Days.
You're talking about Paxam Days.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I just wasn't.
Well, that one.
But again, it's not for me.
It's for them. Well, that one they were like, what if we just write a couple songs? And they were like drinking. Yeah. And so that's why it gets kind of messy towards the end. It's so fucking funny. Caffeine Cold's so fucking good. Don't breathe life into a monster. Hold on. I have to sing it in my head. Don't breathe life into a monster then complain when he just wait. Hold on. Don't breathe love into the monster. Yeah.
I don't even know it.
Fuck it. Whatever. Anyway, it's a good fucking song.
Good fucking song.
It's a good fucking
Good
song.
fucking album.
Good fucking
So
album.
good.
I love you, Fall Out Boy.
I love you, Fall Out Boy.
I love you, Patrick.
Gonna shoot my shot real quick.
Yeah, hopefully he'll divorce his wife and leave his 2 kids. Oh my god. I will say I am living for this Patrick like
Baby
love
gratification.
renaissance, yeah, because everyone, when
Yeah.
pre-hiatus, everyone was like, "Oh, Pete," which is like, yeah, it's fine. Like,
'Cause
not
he was
that
like, well, to be fair,
he was
Pete
the front
kind of the face
man,
of the
he was the
band.
face, which is like, yeah, not saying he's ugly,
And I think they did it
but
intentionally because Patrick didn't want to be.
that's true. They were hiding such a beautiful soul behind. But now everyone's like, Bear,
Dilf.
Dilf. He was the number 2 Dilf on Twitter. You know who number 1 was?
Who?
David Tennant.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I remember I saw a clip because they told that,
him, yeah.
and then he was like, well, they mentioned that Michael Sheen was on there too, and they were like,
Yeah.
he was number 6, and he was like, oh, I was number 1, he was number 6. Like, going off on him.
It was really good. But yeah, he made number 2.
That's
Anyway,
crazy.
next one.
Yours,
Mine.
number 4.
Speak Now. Anyway, Speak Now, Taylor's version by Taylor Swift.
I can see you. Down the harbor, I can see you. It gets too hard for me. What would you do, baby, if you only know? I can see you. Your jacket on the floor. I can see you. Baby, want you even more? What would you do, baby, if you only?
I like Speak Now. I love the original. There's nothing really. Not that it's bad. I mean, it's a
fair, this
re-release.
is-
It's not.
it's a
Yeah,
re-release,
it's because it's her
so-
version. If you don't understand what's going on, that's your fault. I'm sorry. Like,
I know via osmosis just from
Yep.
being around her.
Yep, I did a whole project on it too
Oh my god.
when she first announced it. Look, where we are now. Anyway, I was really excited when she announced this because I do love Speak Now. It's a really good album. She wrote this when she was 19. What the fuck? Anyway, and when you listen to it, you're like, holy shit, my god. Same with like Olivia Rodrigo.
Mhm.
And I mean, Olivia was inspired by Taylor, and then they treat her with like, oh, I can't even get into it. It's so dumb. Anyway,
Music politics, we can't get
I know.
into it.
I don't. People that just don't know just should not be allowed to listen to music. Anyway, yeah, Speak Now is really good. I was looking forward to it. The cover, I didn't talk about with the other albums, but
That's
we're
fine.
gonna talk
Sometimes-
about it.
Sometimes you have more notes on it
Yeah.
than others.
So the cover, the one thing that pisses me off is here. This part right here.
Oh, her
It's
hair?
not curly.
Yeah.
It just looks like they forgot to brush
Do
it
it,
out.
yeah.
And it pisses me off.
It's like
Because it's like they're going, so the whole point of the re-recording is like it's her version, you know,
Mhm.
and they're kind of going off of the original cover, but adding, like she's adding kind of like her older twist to it, whatever. So it kind of gives a different meaning to it. Like same with 1989. We'll see in a little bit. Because like, yeah, I'll bring it up later. Anyway, it's not the same cover, but she's also not changing it completely. Like for example, like everyone hated the red re-recording, her version cover. I liked it because it's the same with Olivia actually.
what
Oh,
does the red one look like?
I just connected the dots. It's the one where she's kind of like this,
Oh, yeah.
and she's wearing a ring that says red on it.
yeah.
I like that cover personally. I like it a lot more than the Fearless one because Fearless are like slap that gross yellow filter on it and call it a day. And I think it's funny because Fearless, it's like she did recreate it, but then the others she didn't recreate it. But this she did. Anyway, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so they're trying to recreate. Did he piss on your?
No, she didn't. She just sits like that.
Oh, okay.
She's fat.
She did, but anyway, yeah, because the original cover I showed you, she's in the dress.
Yeah.
She's like this. She has her iconic curled hair, which she doesn't do anymore, and it's so sad. Anyway, she's like, I have to be straight. No, curl your hair. I don't care how long it takes. Anyway, But yeah, that's the one thing that pissed me off. Everything else is fine. I
will
love the photo
say-
shoot for this one though.
I will say I don't really like this cover. Not as like a Taylor fan or anything like that. 'cause
Just
I'm-
as a
just objectively as like a from like a graphic design perspective, because like it's fine for covers to not have words on them because it's like art speaks for itself. But in this case, it doesn't look like an album cover. It looks like a prom photo,
yeah.
and so it's like it doesn't. It just looks like a.
Interestingly
shoot.
enough, this is the first that she. Sorry, I keep tapping your
No,
screen.
you're fine. It's an old one anyway.
Anyway, it's the first that they had an actual photo shoot for. So for Fearless and Red was based. They did it through Evermore's photo shoot, I think. And then Fearless, they did it off of another magazine photo shoot. They're like, oh yeah, here's some extras we can do.
Right.
We'll use it for your version. So Speak Now was the first that they had an actual photo shoot for, and then 1989 too. But I also wanted to bring up too, with her re-recordings, the only ones that have the album title on it are technically Red because of the ring, and then 1989. So I think that's interesting.
I just think if like because it doesn't look like an album cover, like I said, it looks just like a photo that you would find like on Google or something like that. So it's like if they want it to be like if they wanted to go for a subtle approach with like a like
referencing
design,
the old
or like with like okay, so I think this would have benefited from having words on it if they had just like shifted her over a little bit, have more space right here, and put like Speak Now and like like a faded font where you can barely see it against the background. That would have been better because then at least it's something there, and it's like if you can even see you can't see my vision, but you can.
Why don't you do a mock-up right now
and
then show the people?
Go Photoshop real quick and show you. But you know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like it could have benefited from something else on here because just by itself, it just looks like a fashion photo shoot. Nothing else.
There's others in the photo shoot that was like,
or even do like with what you said the original was, where like make it a painting, like use this photo base a painting off of it.
That's what everyone thought that they were gonna do, or she was gonna do again, and then she didn't. We're like, okay, but yeah, that's just one thing that pissed me off is the hair. I'm like, girl,
fix your hair.
Anyway, so I thought it was interesting. I guess I'll go off my favorites off the vaults. Not as much vaults as Red. None of them. 1989 had less, which were like, we know you have more to say. Speak Now. It's not even the album. Anyways. Whatchamacallit? Oh yeah, we finally got a Taylor and Fall Out Boy collab.
Oh yeah.
I had been wishing for days like this. So good.
That was the only one I listened to. And I was
so good. Oh, Patrick sounds so good. It's an interesting song. The more I listen to it, I think it's funny, but Patrick kills it every time. The one that I was disappointed with was Castles Crumbling with Haley.
Yeah.
Haley has such a beautiful voice. I'm not even getting into it right now. Has such a beautiful voice, and we've always wanted her to collab with Taylor because they've been friends forever. They've been friends since the original Speak Now, even a little before. Speak Now, the title track was based off of Haley. And then they say it again, or not they say it again, but people are like, oh yeah, Brick by Boring Brick by Paramore's kind of based off Taylor. So they've been friends forever. And, they're both lyrically, like, really great, all this stuff. So we've always wanted this. And then you hear the song, and it's... Haley gets half a verse.
Yeah. It's like...
And then Taylor's verse. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Shh, stop! No, Speak Now.
If
you're quiet.
If you're going to feature someone of that caliber, you have to let them feature.
And then, this is another thing. I love Taylor. Whenever she has a women feature on her songs. If she's explained it before, they just sing together. She doesn't like feature them. Like one of the first collabs she did with a woman was "Breathe" with Kobe Calais. You can't even tell she's on the track. Yeah. She's just backing vocals, and we're like, we can't hear. I mean, it's a good song. Love that song. And then even when she came out with, but then with any male feature she has, you always hear them. And to her, she's like, yeah, because it's from the two perspectives. But it's like, I mean, you can still have a woman sing in the song.
Yeah.
So that's why when she came out with Nothing New with Phoebe Bridgers, and Phoebe Bridgers actually has parts in the song. Such a good song, by the way. Makes me cry every time. Whatchamacallit? We were all surprised because we're like, oh, you're letting a woman sing.
Right.
So then, because then beforehand, she released a vault track with Maren Morris, and it's just backing vocals. Yeah. And we're like, okay. So then when we're like, okay, Haley's gonna be on this, great, and then she gets half a verse, and we're like, okay,
It felt a little like lackluster. It was like anticlimactic. It's like, oh,
Alright.
okay.
I know, and it sucks because it's like you want the both of them to sing, and you know they're and the song itself also fits Haley too. Like it's a beautiful song. It's really great. It's kind of similar to Nothing New, and then Haley has like 0.5 seconds on it, and you're like, come on.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was too long. I do like I Can See You. It's really interesting. I think I sent you an edit with Loki and Mobius. Yep. And that's my job.
Should send me heartbreaking edits to Taylor Swift songs.
Well, then tell Taylor to stop writing heartbreaking songs.
Various gay men, and that's like my every time I look at TikTok and I see a smile face in my messages, I'm like, I'm about to see something that's gonna emotionally destroy me.
I'm gonna do the Olivia Wilde nod. I can't even do it right. Just like I don't even know what she's doing. Insert Olivia Wilde nod here. Anyway, yeah, I Can See You is a good song. Timeless is an interesting song. I don't hate it, but it's like, okay, sure. That's the one where it's like, I think I sent you it to, I think Loki. I don't know, maybe Cassio, something like that. Where she's
one
like,
of those gay men.
I don't know, one of those. But she's like, I would have, she's like, oh no, Steve and Bucky. That's what it was. That. Yes, I did.
You did?
I did.
I don't remember that one.
I did because I was like, oh.
I might have like looked at it like this because I didn't want to.
No, you even reacted to it too.
I did.
Yes, you did. It's been a while. I don't even know when this came out.
If it was a while ago, then
it was a long time ago. Yeah, because I was like, oh, you're not gonna like this. It fit them. Anyway, Time's interesting. When Emma Falls in Love is a really sweet song. Everyone thought it was about her and Andrew, but no. Because when she wrote the album, her and Andrew were not dating at the time.
Andrew who?
Garfield.
They dated?
Emma Stone?
Oh, I think you said
Sorry.
Taylor.
No. I would be a different person if that was.
That's why I was like, wait a second, how have I heard this before?
This would not be possible.
I was like, why have I never heard of this before?
The shirt would be like, this is blasphemy.
Yeah, just throw that on you real quick. I was like, huh?
Right. No. Because when Emma Falls in Love is about Emma Stone.
Okay.
Because Taylor and Emma Stone are best friends.
Yeah.
I don't know how they met. Taylor's friends with a lot of people, and I wish I was one of them.
I mean, she's a huge star.
No, I know, and it's fine. It's fine, but I wish I was one of them. And it's
get to messaging.
What if you just
call Taylor
up? No, when she wrote this album was 2009, 2010, and the song's about Emma Stone,
right?
And she's like, when Emma falls in love, blah blah blah, and then she even says like, Emma met a boy with eyes like a man. Turns out I cannot say lyrics. I have to sing it, and I don't want to sing it. But then everyone's like, oh, it's about Emma Stone and Andrew, and then when you look at it, it's like, no, it was about her and Kieran Culkin.
They dated?
They were dating at the time when she wrote this. I know, I didn't know that either. Apparently they were in something together, and then they started dating.
Interesting.
Yeah, so then you think about it, you're like, oh, okay, interesting. Not that it's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's interesting.
I gotta. There's a lot of misinformation, so
I gotta correct.
I gotta correct the people. I think is that all the title? Is all the vault tracks? I guess so. Anyways, but yeah, my top 3 are that one. I Can See You. Sorry, that one. Oh no, there's more vault tracks. Oh, I forgot. I will say I don't like. I listen to I Can See You, Castles Crumbling, and Electric Touch way more than the others. Not that they're bad. But, like, I don't know. Out of all the vault tracks, I don't listen to Speak Nows that much. Sorry. Anyway.
Whoopsie.
Don't kill me. Anyway, moving on.
card revoked.
Oh, yeah. Oh. These Swifties will not like me.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, even though I've been a Swiftie since day one.
Before they were born.
Before most of them were born. Some of them were like, I was in 5th grade when Reputation came out. Reputation?
That's with so many of these Fall Out Boy people on
Yes!
Twitter. I'm like, I was listening to them before you were fucking
Yes! And they're like, I was in 3rd grade when Mania came out. I'm like,
you're
3rd grade!
You're doing that voice of like, and her like, and the baby died, and
my sister had a baby.
That's what the voice you were doing was.
That's how they fucking sound.
But yeah, it's like some of these people on the Fall Out Boy girls on Twitter. I'm like, I listened to Fall Out Boy for the first time
way before you were born.
When I was 7 years old. You were not even a thought yet.
I mean, it's good that the young kids are going in, but also Oh my god.
Also, shut up though.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't need
Yeah.
opinions.
Yeah. Anyway,
Moving on.
that was whenever. Oh, that's right. I switched them. I was like, I was thinking something else.
Very
Okay.
different.
Yeah. Dogma from Crown of the Empire. So this is my number 4, Dogma by Crown of the Empire.
Isn't that like a religious event?
Dogma. That's Dogma is like ideas, like spread ideas.
Oh, because I know there's the movie.
Because well, when they're saying like follow the dogma, it's like follow the rules, follow the set ideas. So that's interestingly, even though that was like a really like obviously religious, like criticizing religious song, Dogma, the whole album as a whole, is drawn from like experiences during COVID actually, and like seeing like the world and how like things fell apart and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like a lot of things of like isolation and self-reflection and stuff like that. And shift in perspectives and priorities. The album is a noticeable change in from like their past stuff, especially in as far as like how lyrics are written. So he said the main vocalist, the Queen singer Andy, he said more theatrical and colorful lyrics can sometimes make things convoluted. The pandemic caused a lot of introspection and shift in priorities as individuals and as a group. These lyrics are less wordy and lofty. It's more honest and direct. So a lot of their obviously they still have like well-written lyrics, but it's less like metaphors, is less thing. It's more just like, hey, I'm saying this to you, listen, like kind of shit. So there's a lot of also like new sound, most notably in the vocals and vocal style. They're more straightforward metalcore, rather and like they mixed a little bit of like electronic and pop stuff, but their older stuff was more like this is more like metal mixed with pop. Their old stuff is more pop mixed with metal, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get you.
So
sprinkle pop with sprinkle metal
and this
with
is more
sprinkle
straightforward
pop.
metal with like a little bit of electronic stuff here and there. I personally like the change. I think this is my favorite album from them. Like obviously I love their last album Sun Sky a lot because I've been listening to it a lot.
Is that the one where they're jumping?
Yeah, that's Sun Sky. That was the last album. And then the one before that, Retrograde, that was really good too. I don't remember the one before that. And then their first one, I think it was the first one, Fallout. That one was pretty good. That was more like middle school though. That was when that one came out. And I don't super remember that one very much. But this album, surprisingly, it's my number 4. It's obviously very high. I love this album so much. I like every song on it except for one, which I'll talk about in a second. And this had a lot of negative reviews. People were saying like it's the same sound. There's just, if you like shit from middle school, you're gonna like this or whatever. It's like it's the same. It's like boring or whatever. It's just boring metalcore. And I'm like, first of all, what were you listening to in middle school? This sounds like this. Because I mean, if I'm talking to someone who's the same age as me, in middle school, it was like Motionless first album, which I can't remember the name of right now, or like early Black Veil Brides, or like stuff like that. It's like this does not sound like that at all. It sounds like modern metalcore, which is what this is. And what are you talking about? Sounds like
right?
Middle school.
How old are these people? And they're like, yeah, that's what I listened to in middle school.
I'm like,
what are you, 10?
What were you born 5 years ago? What are you talking about? So it's like, because other people are saying it's like, oh, it's formulaic, it's like basic formulaic 2000 metalcore.
You know, I'm using
and again, it goes back to the point we were talking about last time with a Fall Out Boy. If someone finds something that works for their band and they keep doing it, so what? Just don't listen to it if you don't like it. Anyway, the just because you enjoyed something in middle school doesn't mean it automatically makes it bad when you grow up. You can still like it if it's something you listen to in middle school.
Because there's some stuff like I've listened to when I was younger, and I'm like, it's still
good.
It
right?
is good. The High School Musical soundtrack is still good.
I was gonna say 3 is great.
Hey, you listen to Scream from the High School Musical 3 soundtrack. It's so fucking good.
I thought you meant
so fucking good.
I don't know what I thought you were gonna say.
My God, they said, oh, what's the meme?
I don't know.
He heard "Change Lives." They said what?
Well,
They-
I don't know.
Ah, shit.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know
Yeah,
what it is.
they said
I think it's always something different.
take 5.
Yeah.
And he heard change
Change lives,
lives.
yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
Anyway.
So every song on this album, besides one, is a fucking banger. It's so fucking good. Every song, and I don't understand the thing of like people are like, oh, a lot of them sound the same. They sound so wildly different from song to song on this album, and all of them still work as a cohesive album and are still so good. The only one I don't like is Superstar with Remington Leith, and the only reason it actually
the guy from whatchamacallit?
Palais Royale.
Oh.
I do not
Sorry.
like Palais Royale. I just
No
don't
idea.
like them. I've never liked them.
You know what? Not for me.
Not for me.
For them. That's all I have
That's
to
literally.
say.
I've never been able to get into them. I've never liked them.
Yeah, I had to think about that
and-
band in such a long time.
Me either.
I think they're still around.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And so that's the only because I understand the song fits into the theme of the album.
But
It just sounds like a Palais Royale song, and I don't like
Oh.
Palais Royale. And so it's like I can listen to it sometimes when I listen to the whole album as a whole. I won't skip it. I'll listen to it, but it's like
when it comes on shuffle, you're like, no.
yeah, when it comes to stuff, I'm like, next one. But there's only 10 songs, so that's why I was like, okay, I only disliked one. All 9 other ones were amazing,
Yeah.
so it's like I can still qualify that as being a top 4. I can still
Mm,
justify that being this high because it's 1 out of 10 that I don't like,
yeah.
and all the other ones are so good. Like they're like I would have to just list all of them. To be my-
The whole album.
like I would say my number 1 is Modified. That one's so good. Labyrinth is probably my number 2. Someone Else, Dogma, the one I just played. Immortalized, Paranoid. I'm just gonna keep listing. Dancing with the Dead is really good. Black Sheep. What are the ones? Paranoid. In Another Life. Oh, In Another Life. They have with Courtney LaPlante from Spirit Box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one's really good. My hair. Yeah, it's like one of those times where it's like a really long hair out of nowhere, like
Oh,
right here.
yeah.
And I'm like,
I always hate when I look in the corner of my eye and I see like there's
Like-
like hair
Right.
that's not supposed that's like kind of coming out and like frizzy and I'm
Yeah.
like, get
What are you
back.
doing here?
Get back now.
Back, I would say.
Back.
Also, I'd say this is actually the shortest album on this list. It's only 33 minutes and 50 seconds, so 34 minutes.
Interesting.
The songs,
They didn't have much to say.
the songs weirdly they don't feel super short, like individually, but
Oh, okay.
they are, I guess.
like
But
what?
but when I listen to them, they don't feel like, oh, that was over so quickly. I was just like, it was a regular length song, but it
I was
just
like, oh, it was only 2 minutes. I felt like that was forever.
yeah, right.
Kind of like that. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
sort of like that, but not in a bad way. Like, oh, it went on forever. It's just like, oh, it felt like
An actual 3
minute.
minute song.
That was another point about modern music. It's like I feel like it's all too short now.
Yes, they're all short now because they want to be trending.
like, Extend, brother.
Please, but then you have the
please.
songs where it's only that little bit that's good, and then the rest you're
Yeah.
like, what? And so then it's like, oh, I guess I'll get back to this short songs.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but yeah, that was my number 4. It's so fucking good. I want to get it on vinyl. 'Cause
He's strangling.
I don't know somebody. The haters.
The haters.
I want to get on vinyl because the vinyl is solid gold. It's not like real gold, but like gold
Oh,
color.
it's not real gold.
No, not like real gold. I think that would break immediately if you
Yeah.
had to make a record out of gold. But
Right.
it's like gold colored and it like matches the whole vibe of the whole
that
thing.
is pretty.
It looks
yeah.
so cool. I want to get it so bad.
I
just
do
haven't
like
had
the
money.
color scheme.
Oh, it's so pretty. I know this album cover. I will say it looks a little because it's a photo and not like
Yeah.
and not like drawn. I feel like it does look a little like what is the word I'm trying to say?
Mm.
I can see where people are talking about like, oh, it looks like from middle school because it looks a little like here you go. I don't know the word I'm trying to think of is like how I'm trying to describe it, but I can see.
I think I think there was a lot of thought with this.
No, there definitely
thing.
is. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying I understand where they're taking the middle school vibe from it is. It's like it feels like something from like the early 2000s like that. But I understand why it's like that, and it looks good for the
theme.
for the theme.
Yeah,
And also, it looks sick.
that's cool.
Just because it looks like middle school doesn't mean it can't look sick.
this fucks hard.
It fucks hard. Look at that. Look at that fucking skull. Anyway, that was my number 4. It's so good.
My number 3 is a 1989 Taylor's version by
2 in a row.
Taylor Swift. Bam Bam.
1-2 hit.
Rumors are terrible and cruel, but honey, most of them are true. 'Cause baby, I can build a castle out of all the bricks they threw at me, and every day is like a battle, but every night with us is like a dream. Living with the new romantics, come along with me. Heartbreak is the national anthem. We sing it proud.
I was like that TikTok thing where it's like, get out of my skin. I was like, what was that song? I was like, get out of my head.
It is a good song. I will say the first time I listened to it back in 2014.
That was 10 years ago, by the way, almost. 10 years ago, yeah, because 2024 almost in a couple days.
Yeah.
Look at that, a decade old.
Anyway, when I first listened to it, I didn't, not that I hated it when I first listened to New Romantics, but it wasn't like okay.
It wasn't like your favorite.
But then I got really into it, and then me and my sister were singing it in the back of the car after our aunt's funeral, our great aunt's funeral. We were like, this is a perfect time to sing New Romantics.
I remember you talking about it a lot in high school. This album, I think, not during not when it first came out, but like in sophomore year, you were talking about a lot.
This album, the original, the first 1989, changed lives. Because this was her first full pop album.
Yeah.
And the first single was Shake It Off. And everyone, like, she was 24.
Mm-hmm. Our age.
What the fuck? She was changing lives at 24 years old, and what are we doing? Making podcasts. Anyway, so, this truly was a career-defining moment for her.
Mm-hmm.
It's every album. But still, like, with Red, the previous album, it was like, yeah, country pop. Because even with Fearless, it's like, yeah, country pop. Because
Red was before this. I thought it was Speak Now.
It's Taylor Swift, Fearless, Speak Now, Red, 1989, Reputation, Lover, Folklore, Evermore, Midnights.
Okay, I see.
You don't listen to the audio?
Taylor
Swift.
I've heard it once or twice.
Fearless, Speak Now.
I've heard the album.
1989,
I've heard the
Reputation, Lover, Folklore, Evermore, Midnights.
I've heard the audio. I just don't pay attention to it.
Sounds like they changed it, but
I
they got it
from.
from.
I guess I thought Speak Now was before this one because of the album, the way she dropped these. It was like Speak Now and then this one.
No, see, her her schedule for dropping the re-releases, we don't know why.
Yeah,
because her first one was Fearless, which is like, okay, I guess that makes sense.
That was her like most popular.
I was about to say that is, You Belong with Me and Love Story were big hits. That truly, like, she was known before, but this truly, like, she rose.
That's the only album I think
in her popularity.
Full is Fearless.
That's a good album. That was a really good album. And that turned 10, I cried because I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I remember when this was new. Anyway, yeah, but then she released Red, and we're like, okay, but that was because of All Too Well 10-minute version, which she had been hinting at, her whole life. And we're like, okay, where is it? And then she's like, okay, here. We're like, okay, I guess. But then she did Speak Now. And then I forgot why they were like, yeah, she did Speak Now because of it. And then she did 1989. So now we're like, okay, I guess she's going to do Reputation next. And then debut. We really didn't know how she was doing these. I guess she was just like, here, take it. And I'm like, hey, that's fine. I'll take it. Anyway, yes, 1989 Taylor Swift. This is a good album. Good album. Anyway, of the vault songs, number 1. Is It Over Now?
Oh, yeah.
You listen to that song and it never leaves your head.
I still haven't
that was my number 1 song off of Spotify Wrapped. It's insane. It's so good.
I meant to listen to it after our Spotify Wrapped one and I forgot to do it. I'll listen to it.
I can play it right now.
I'll listen to it tonight. It's fine.
Actually, I can sing it right now.
No.
Did you think I didn't see her? They were flashing lights. At least I had the DC to keep my nights out of sight with only rumors about my hips and to get stuck in your head.
Wait, was it in one of the videos you sent me?
What?
Was it in one of the edits you sent me?
What edits? You talking about like for gay people?
Any of them that you sent me? Was it in any of them?
I haven't sent you any 19. I don't know. I don't think so.
Remember.
Anyways, it's a really good song. I like how I was like, I'm singing it, and then I'm terrible at it. Anyway, it's a good fucking song. I was listening to it nonstop. I still do. Anyways, but the vault songs in this, it's funny because she was like, oh, I have the song Slut, and it was like, oh, I don't know why people were excited for it, but she was kind of like hyping it up.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, it's called Slut, and we're like, for real? When she released the track list, we're like, no, no way. And she's like, yeah. And I think she thought that would be the hit.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's a bad song. It gets stuck in my head a lot. They use that in edits a lot. It's in World of Boys, He's a Gentleman.
Oh, okay.
And then also there's a bit beforehand. Whatever. Anyway, I see that a lot with Andrew edits. So
of course you do.
In A World of Boys, he is a gentleman.
Oh my god.
Because he's 40. Anyway, But Is It Over Now took everyone by surprise. They're like literally first listen, you're like, what? Huh? Okay. It's funny because in the beginning it's like, what? With like these seagulls. It's so good.
Interesting.
It's so good. Anyway, I think my second favorite of the vault tracks is Now That We Don't Talk. And this is funny because 1989 was the first album that she collaborated with Jack Antonoff with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because a lot of people were talking about like the sound and mixing for it, for the original
Yeah, I
track.
heard a lot about that.
I'm kind of used to it now.
Mm.
Like now I listen to it, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Like
The one I heard the most that was like, or that jarred me the most was Style, because I actually listened to Style quite a bit. It's like it's a good song. And so when I heard the vault, or not vault version,
the
Taylor version, I was like, the mixing threw me off a little bit. I was like, oh, wait a second.
But yeah, now
I'm
after
just so used to the old one.
right after a while, I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah,
it sounds like it.
I guess
fine.
I haven't listened to it enough to get used to the difference.
Oh yeah, I was listening to this on repeat.
Yeah, well, honestly, I listen to Taylor Swift the most on YouTube because for some reason it's in my YouTube mix and it always comes in there. I'm like, get out of here, but it just always stays.
Yeah.
And so it comes up all on my YouTube, and it's always like the not one of those like where it's like the official version where it's like the album art and like the official audio.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's always the old one that comes up for some reason of like all the songs that I listen to.
Oh,
and
interesting.
So that's the one I listen to the most often, and so that's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
So that was the mixing really jarred me on some of these.
Yeah.
What was the other one that people were talking about that jarred people?
I think Blank Space.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of all the hits. Yeah, I think Blank Space.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's interesting, but it's like, whatever, it's fine. But yeah, a lot of people are like, this is why Jack Antonoff shouldn't touch it, and everyone, it's like, he was the original one.
Right.
He's the reason why it was made. Not he was the reason, but you know,
Yeah,
like
I know what you mean.
he was there from the beginning. People are so weird. Again, they were five when the album came out anyway.
You shouldn't have opinions. It's fine.
Shouldn't have opinions. Anyways, really good album. Love it. 10 out of 10. That was so good seeing this live. So good seeing this set live. I was crying. I was crying the whole time. But then, because it was like, I saw her sing it. I saw 1989 World Tour, and that was so cool. She did such an amazing job. And then seeing the set again for Eras Tour was so cool because I was like, look at us, full circle. Even when she sang Fearless, I was sobbing my eyes out when she sang Fearless because that was the first concert I went to of hers. And so seeing it again was awesome. This is a good album. Again, Is It Over Now? You will never stop listening to it. It will forever be stuck in your head. 10 out of 10. Love it. The Grammy-winning album, not this one, but the original. Yeah, because the cover is interesting because the original cover, you know, she's half out.
Yeah.
I say original. But the original concept was where she's like smiling.
Yeah.
But then she didn't put that because she's like, no, people are not going to take me seriously. And it's like, oh. But also, the original 1989 cover slays so hard.
It's like a Polaroid, right?
Yeah. That's when she started. She's the one that got Polaroids famous again. I'm kidding. No, she didn't. Anyway, so yeah, when she dropped this cover, I don't hate it. I guess I don't like how big the 1989 is.
I actually like this cover. I think it looks good. I think it's a good reinterpretation of the original.
Well, I like it because everyone's like, oh, she's doing the smile like she always wanted. I was kind of hoping for another Polaroid,
it
but it's fine.
That her hair is in her mouth, but that's fine.
It's fine. It's okay. And it is. Everyone pointed out like, oh yeah, she made her hair look short, just like in the you know, when she cut her hair off for whatchamacallit, 1989. What am I? Oh shit. Oh, I was like, there's variations. She had very different covers for this one.
You were showing me all the different ones.
Yes, at 3 in the morning, my sister, I don't know which one to get. And I'm like, I gotta go to bed. She woke me up when Taylor announced it, which I'm like, that's fine. I told you to. And then Taylor's like, I'm gonna release 4 different covers of it. It's on my shop now. Get it before it's gone. You know, her always. Anyway, and then Karina's sitting there. Should I get the green one or the yellow one or the blue? Because she's looking. Because Taylor covered the covers at first because she didn't, you know, surprise. And my sister's looking at the silver of the top and trying to see what the picture is. And I'm like, Karina, it is 4 in the fucking morning. I have work the next day. Tell me which one so I can order it right now. This is one I like. Yellow. Oops. Yellow cover. Oh my god. Cover 1989. Taylor Swift. Not car. I like this one. I don't know what it is. I like the coloring of it. Come on. Let's go. Well, it's blurry.
That's fine.
But
oh, okay, I see it.
See?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I guess I can see why you'd prefer that one. Because because I think I know the 1999 is supposed to be like her birth year, right?
Yeah.
But
My name's Taylor
seeing that
Swift.
with that, that picture feels more 80s
Yeah.
than this
Okay.
one. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
If that's the vibe she's trying to go for, because it seems like what she is with the Polaroid and like the off-white and this
Yeah.
kind of framing.
Yeah.
It seems like she's trying to go for like an 80s aesthetic or 80s 90s aesthetic.
Yeah.
And that picture feels more of that time period than this one. But
Yeah.
this one showcases her face more, I guess.
Yeah, it is
So,
interesting how she made it was a whole beach theme.
yeah.
When I thought, but you released it in October. So anyway, I mean, to me it was a summer album, but then she released it in October. Both times. I'm like, okay.
Interesting.
So yeah, and the reason why she included the seagull, I guess that's why, was because on her shirt there were seagulls. So
Oh, yeah.
anyway, that's my number 3. Taylor, love you, bestie.
My number 3 is Fatalism by Polaris. I've been listening to the album so fucking much recently. Anyway. And I do just want to preface this one with, unfortunately, right before this came out, the guitarist, the one with the black hair that was cut, he passed away.
What?
He was only 26, and he was a fucking amazing guitarist.
How did he die?
We don't know. They didn't release it. Okay, anyway, back to the album though. I just want to say, like, R.I.P. His name is Ryan Snow. He's so good. Can you not? So he was an incredible guitarist. And a lot of their music relied on his guitar work, and so it's sucks, man. He was really good. But yeah, he passed away like right before this album came out. Like it was already done, and he was like right before they released it. They had already released one video. It was not this video; it was the last one, Inhumane. And then he passed away, and then they released the rest of it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But this album is noticeably darker from their last ones because they've always had like, really like emotional like stuff like that and like angsty like that.
Right.
But this one's way more about like state of the world, stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of the albums this year and the last couple of years are because of understandably recent events.
I mean, yeah, I was about to say like it's funny that that's all. I mean, like even like Fall Out Boy, Paramore.
Yeah. I mean, because it influenced everything. It affected everything.
Yeah.
So
I mean, also like, what else were people gonna do during that time anyway? So
right, music. So
it's funny that every one of yours though.
That's what most of what I listen to
is about.
Well, also that's a lot. It's really common in this genre too. Is a lot of like political stuff.
It's fair.
And so it's understandable that a lot of music coming out recently is going to be about the state of the world. So this one's more like about dystopia and war and society. Fatalism of obviously, which is what the title is. And it's about what fatalism is. I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. It's like a philosophical thing that where you believe that all events and actions and fate and destiny is predetermined and like there's no point in trying to change it. It's like that. So it's like you become like resigned to everything. It's like, well, there's no point in doing anything. So why would I even bother? It's like that. The idea that human beings are like powerless to have any influence about the future or outcomes of their actions. Like there's like it doesn't matter what you do because the outcome of your actions is already predetermined, so it doesn't matter what I do. Like that. And the theme of this album is like it's like touching on how dangerous that idea can become in a society, which like can eventually lead to like a collapse when the inhabitants are unwilling to fight back and push for change. They become a tiny minority and they're overwhelmed and suppressed by those who would rather sit back and just let things happen. So like that, that's what the main like theme of this album is, and then obviously it ties into like how it affects your mental state living in a society like that. How it can make your like mental health deteriorate, losing loved ones, stuff like that. And their lyrics have always been like really intelligent, like they always have been, and this is just like a crazy amount. Like they are just so like they're all such clearly talented people, not just like in the guitar work and the drums and like in the instrumentation,
music,
but just
yeah.
also just in the lyricism. It's just so just like they understand things so well, and they're so just like real. Let's see, what else did I write? Um, I'm honestly, it's a lot of it is just like a lot of it is just like anger and like at the world, and that's what a lot of like what I listen to is. It's just angry at the world.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a constant state.
It's a fair feeling.
Yeah, it's just like it's like that's what the feeling is. It's just
Yeah.
this. It's like, oh, come on. Why are people so stupid? Why can't people see this? Why can't people like understand this? It's stuff like that. And then also just living in a society like that, it drains you.
Especially when COVID hit.
Yeah, especially when COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is a lot more like I said about like war dystopia, people like not like standing up or changing things like that. So that's what a lot of this album is about, and then obviously like a lot of personal stuff too. This album is just so fucking good. I've listened to it so much recently. My number one is With Regards. That's actually more like the most like personal one, I would say, like not relating to that on the album. It's just so good. I relate to it so hard. It's so good. The other ones I like are Overflow is really good. Nightmare, which is the one that played. Inhumane, Crossfire, and Fault Line. They're all so like all of them are so good. I could just sit here and list the entire like track list. There's only 11 songs. It's like it's 47 minutes long.
Interesting.
So it's a longer one on this list. Not the longest, but it's pretty long. And there's not one of them I didn't like. Like this is like I liked every single song on here, and they were all just like again we keep falling back to it's just so good.
Yeah.
It's just so good. Music so good.
Music good.
Music good.
Music nice. I mean, my number one we were talking about.
Two.
My number two. This is why that Paramore.
Intentions only get you so far. What if I'm just a selfish prick? No regard. I'm always running out of time. I'm always running out of time.
Oh, it's such a good song. It's not even funny. Anyways, another pandemic song. I mean, album. It's been because After Laughter. First of all, After Laughter holds a dear place in my heart as well. I don't know what I said that for the other. Anyway, oh, I said it by the way. After Laughter is such a good fucking album. I have listened to that album on repeat forever and ever and ever, and I constantly will. Like there was just moments where I'm like, that is all I'm gonna listen to. So, and that was back in 2017. It came out in a time in my life where things were changing, and I was very much like, what's going on?
Right.
And Haley was like, here, I'll bless you. And I said,
You're my
oh,
child.
Thank you, mother. Such a good album. Such a very like, especially with them as a band too. Like Haley and Taylor were going through a lot, given the fact that they were the only two original members that had stayed. But then Zach came back, and everyone was so happy. And Paramore is one of the few bands that you truly are like, I'm gonna start crying if I talk about them too much. You care about them a lot, and they truly are. They're not in it for, and I mean most of the people that are on this list aren't either, but like they like their community. Every single time they do a show, they really are just like, it's for you. Like it's because of you that we're here. Cry every time that she goes, we love you, and we are Paramore. And I'm like, yeah, we are. First time I saw them live was in 2018 for After Laughter, and she was so tiny, but the screens were big, and it was such a like. Even when I went recently, it was such a good feeling. It was they do such a good job. It's not even funny. Haley is such an amazing vocalist. It's not even funny.
Right.
Like
she is. Yeah.
Oh my god. They've been in it for so long, over 10 years, and she still constantly just surprises you every single time. I highly recommend her solo album, Petals for Armor. And even Descansos, I don't know how to pronounce it, and then Flowers for Vases came out late 2020. It's a little slower, so I don't listen to it as much, but it's so raw, and it's so good. And then Petals for Armor, such a good album. Why was it nominated for a Grammy? I don't know. It should have been. Actually, I don't think they were doing Grammys of the year. But anyway, whatchamacallit. So 2017 was last album after Laughter, and we've been waiting and we were patient, and finally, in the good old year of 2023, they were like, "We're giving you something," and we said yes. The cover is very interesting. It's based off of album. I mean, I'm sorry, it's based off of a painting that I didn't know. Because I mean, in a way, it's like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. You know, they feel like constrained.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like out of, you know, they're trying to
Like
get
there's a
out.
barrier
Yeah,
for
there's a
them.
barrier. They can't get through. Whatever. Well, then they came out with a remix album a couple months ago, and I didn't care about it. I love Paramore, but I did not care about it.
To be fair, remix albums are always like
They're and it's interesting because it's like they included like Boy Genius. Who else? I don't know who else was on it. Everyone was freaking out about Boy Genius.
I'm not a fan.
Other people, I know. Other people on there, I don't remember in that same
Yeah.
area. But it was just I think Remy Wolf was one of them. I don't remember. Anyway. But it was like they redid the whole song. And I'm like, what? No.
Yeah.
I like the song. The only good thing that came out of it, that sounds terrible, but they came out with a demo. They released a demo called Sanity. That I was listening to it on repeat like last week or whatever. That was stuck in my head. So good.
Ow, you
Haley
fucker.
sounds amazing
Sorry,
on
you bit
it.
me.
Cat moment. It's fine. And so she sounds so amazing. Her voice is so beautiful. She's so amazing. I love her. Love her to death. Anyway. So yeah, this is why Grammy nominated. Let's get some cheers in here. Popping bottles. Anyway.
Popping the biggest bottles.
Popping the biggest bottle.
When This Is Why wins the Grammy.
Oh God, I hope so. They're up against Lana Del Rey.
Oh, they're not winning.
Pisses me off. I know.
Who else are they up against?
I don't remember. That's the only one that I was like, damn it. Get out of here. I'm tired of her.
I know when I saw
Tired of her.
Ghost was up against Metallica, I was like, well, they're not.
No,
winning.
they're not gonna win.
Metallica's gonna win.
Maybe they're
obviously.
up. Maybe they are up against Metallica too.
And Spirit Box is up against Metallica too.
They're not
gonna win.
They're not gonna win. God, I love to be delusional, but not like that.
Yeah, I love to be delusional.
Anyways, quick notes on that.
Yeah.
This is such a good fucking album. So good. It's only 10 songs, which sucks, but they're all good 10 songs.
What's your favorites?
My favorites. My absolute number one favorite is Figure 8, and I heard it live, and it changed my life forever. It was so fucking good. It's such a good fucking song. Oh my God. I can't even it's like talking about, you know, like she even says like, shit, I can't think of the lyrics because I have I'm running out of time stuck in my head, which that's a good song too. I love that song. I do run out of time as well. She's so funny. She's like, I hit the snooze on my alarm 20 times. I'm like, me too. So relatable. It's so funny. Anyway, no, in Figure 8, she's like, all for your sake. I think I'm losing my shape. Why can't I fucking know the lyrics? I gotta look it up. Anyway. But basically, like, I'm bending over backwards to be who you want me to be. And you're not even like appreciative. It's such a good fucking song. Every time it plays, I'm like, everyone shut up. I'm in the car by myself. I'm like, everyone shut up.
All the voices in my head, shut up.
So quiet now. That's a good song. Crave is a good one, makes me cry. Thick Skull. Oh my God. Such a good fucking song. They just started recently playing it live, and I hate it because it's like, I wanted to watch that live.
Right.
Why didn't you think about me? They never think about me. Anyway, it's such a good fucking song. Oh my God. Especially towards it's such a good album closer for them. And then even her performing it live, she's oh my God. It's insane. I can't that's all I can say. Paramore deserves everything because they're so fucking good. They're so fucking talented. It's not even funny. They're amazing. Their stage work is great. Haley does an amazing voice. Has an amazing voice. Does very well. They all do very well. Love you, Taylor. Love you, Zach. I'm so glad you're back. It's not even funny. They deserve every single award. They're not overrated. Okay, they're so good. And I'm tired of people saying that they're overrated. They're just every album is just bam, 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 and they've been through so much in their personal lives, as long as their lives as a band. And so I feel like this is a good like vibe of where they're at right now. Because I liked After Laughter because it fit them. That's the thing about Paramore. They're their own genre. Whatchamacallit? Like this is not. It's not. I wouldn't call it like. I mean, I guess Alternative is a fine one, but it's not. It's not their old stuff. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's Paramore. It's Haley. It's Taylor. It's Zach. Love it. 10 out of 10. No notes. No song that I hate. It's all bam, 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 bam. Anyway, yeah. We gotta wrap this up.
All right, my number 2, The Noble Art of Self-Destruction by Holding Absence.
That looks familiar.
I love this piano.
Someone's life, began believing hero minds. I know, self-serving lullaby, that'll help me sleep at night. It's more this movie, sweet and alive. Sing myself, you can really be. Where I tell myself that it's gonna be alright. They say it's my soul on fire, but I'm gonna be alright.
So before I even get into the album, when you said a couple weeks ago, when you were like, you were trying to you were branching out, and you started with Bad Omens, I was like, this is an interesting.
Well, it's only because you played some for me.
and I was thinking like, okay, if I were to start you somewhere, to not trying to get you into metal music, 'cause I'm not saying like everyone has to like it,
Yeah.
but if you were trying to branch out, I would start you here.
Yeah, I was just thinking like, oh yeah, they're pretty light for you.
Yeah. They do have they don't scream, and he does have harsher vocals, but it's not screaming.
It's not, yeah.
But that's not in every song, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got you.
It's only in the harder parts, but
Yeah.
even then they're not very heavy.
Mhm.
They're like post-hardcore alternative rock,
Mhm.
sort of emo-ish. Not really, but this album is so fucking good. And I was gonna say, I'm actually a new fan of Holding Absence. I discovered them through the Daylist thing on Spotify.
There you
it was
go.
the song Crooked Melody. That was the first one I heard. It was the first single from this album.
Yeah.
And I was like, that fucking slapped. That was
Wow,
really good.
they're
So I went
your-
and listened to the album, and I was like, that was fucking amazing.
And they're your number
so-
2.
And so I'm gonna start
Wow.
listening to their older stuff now too. I've listened to a little bit of their older stuff, but not all of it yet.
Yeah.
It was so fucking good. So it's obviously, you can tell by just the album art, it's centered around self-improvement, learning to love your faults, stuff like that, because it's about
Mhm.
kintsugi. You can tell by the album art. It's just I like how in this one we're getting close to the top. All we can say is it's just so fucking
It's
good.
just so good. Music good.
We get so it's so good that
Love
we
music.
can't even say words anymore. It's just so good. I guess what I would say with this one is just this quote that I found I thought it was kind of funny. The noble art of self-destruction is the Oppenheimer of alternative music, and Holding Absence is the Christopher Nolan.
I was about to say the movie.
Yeah, the pinnacle of their career.
Well,
Pinnacle
you
of
just said Christopher Nolan. That's the director.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
the
Interesting.
goats or whatever, I guess you'd call them.
Yeah.
The band have woven this is still a quote, a rich conceptual tapestry of depression, imposter syndrome, and self-love, told by an unreliable narrator lost in a labyrinth known as the mind. Every track blends together, breathing new life into each moment, simultaneously sharing the spotlight and stealing the show. This album is so fucking
Interesting.
good. Okay, so my favorites, Her Wings is my number 1 favorite. That one's so good. False Dawn, Death Nonetheless, Liminal, Scissors, and A Crooked Melody. And also, all the other ones. Honeymoon is so fucking good.
How many tracks?
10.
Oh.
It's 42 minutes long. Head Prison Blues is so good. Did I say Death Nonetheless? Yeah, I did. These New Dreams, they're all... This is the one that I bought the thing for.
yeah.
It's, I'll show it to you in a second. It's it's so good.
I would say I do like when artists include in their music videos the cover art.
Mhm.
I think it's fun.
It is fun.
And I was like, oh, that's on the cover.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I like that they connect it that way.
I like how this is the second kintsugi thing that I've liked, because it's also the kintsugi kid from I can't think of the word. So much Stardust.
I forgot. I will say sorry, because it reminds me. I forgot Paramore had a Target exclusive cover, and I kind of, not that I hate the original. I said I liked it, but I liked the alternative cover better.
Yeah.
I felt like it fit more with them too. Where's my music? I don't know if you can see it. Hold on.
It's this. It's like the gold thing, and it's also got this picture frame where it's a vinyl pop out of this thing, and it's got the art book and stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so I bought that, and it's not gonna be here until I finish paying for it. But
you don't get it now.
No, you're gonna get it now.
Hold on. Oops.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this one because it's just so good. It's just listen to it for yourself. That's all I can say about it. It's just so good.
Sorry, this is the other album cover.
That's pretty cool.
When they're holding each other, I'm like,
Yeah.
that makes it. That's Paramore.
Yeah.
Anyway, I forgot about the news. But anyway,
You're
that's
fine.
not about me anymore. It's about you.
It's fine.
I missed my chance.
But no, like I said, that's pretty much all I have to say about them because it's just so good. You just have to listen to it for yourself. Apparently, this is like the third in like a trilogy of albums.
Interesting.
But I liked it just as it is. Like I don't have
Yeah.
to listen to the two yet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is just fucking perfect. It's an awesome album.
No more.
Can I help you?
Just that.
Anyway, it's so good. Also, I didn't realize they're Welsh. I didn't realize that by the
Oh.
they when I heard them talking in like an interview, I was like, he doesn't sound like that at all when he sings.
Right. My number one album of the
You wanna grab your
year.
prop?
Bam, 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 bam. For those listening, I'm holding the vinyl version of So Much for Stardust.
Last night I dreamt I still knew you. I carved out a place in this world for two, but it's empty without you. I got all this love I've got to keep to myself. All this effort to make it look effortless.
I mean, we already said most of what was said about this album. It's so fucking good. I love Fall Out Boy. I've been listening to them a lot more recently
Yeah.
this year. They were my second artist of the year, right?
so, yeah.
Yeah, second artist. They were actually my number one like for the past 2 years.
I think they were they my top 5? They were my third. Or
I
something
thought
like
they
that, right?
were.
Yeah.
Watch the last
I
episode.
think they were my number 3 or 2.
They're up
I
there,
can't
yeah.
remember.
I don't know, something about this year though. I think because they were touring again.
Mhm.
Yeah, fuck them.
Oh yeah.
With their stupid Magic 8-Ball set pissed me off every single night. It
And we
was
couldn't
like
even go to a concert.
anyway,
Yeah.
we couldn't even go.
Was it on a Thursday, right? Or something like that?
It was a Tuesday.
Was it Tuesday?
Yeah, the worst day of the week.
Worst day of the week.
Another Tuesday.
Another Tuesday.
Yeah, well, the one we got at Houston, Karina was even like, "It's not that we hit it. It was
It
no,
was
you would have
Kazuki.
liked it.
Yeah,
You would
I
have
know
liked
that
it. Never
song.
mind." Yeah, but everyone else got fucking
That's true.
GINF,
as much
GINFSAS,
Gymnastics.
gymnastics, whatever the fuck
As
it
much
is.
as I love Kazuki Kid, I would have preferred if I was there to have gotten like Gymnastics or Bang the Goal Drum.
Or Pavlov! They got fucking
Pavlov.
Pavlov!
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
To be in that crowd when Pavlov started playing.
I would have shit my pants.
That's
I would have shit my pants. Especially when you're the first. I would have been like, no!
Scared of
No! I'm sorry. Anyway, oh, so glad it's on Spotify now.
Oh, I know.
Not that we couldn't hear it before.
But
it's
it
different
wasn't
now.
very good quality on YouTube.
That too.
The only one that
Oh
was
my
uploaded.
god, it's such a good fucking song.
Right.
All my Fall Out Boy mutuals, I've been listening to it on repeat. Which one's so fucking good. Anyway, this is a good fucking album. Again, it should have been nominated for a fucking Grammy, but whatever. Whatever. Who am I to judge?
Who am I?
No, I'm everyone. Anyway,
Yeah.
such a good fucking album. Oh, we talked about the album cover off camera. But anyway,
Yeah, off camera. we
I don't
didn't
know.
talk
I just like I don't hate it. I love dogs, of course. But I don't know. I feel like it could have been more.
about it. I guess I can see what you're saying. I think the album cover is very Fall Out Boy. I liked
That's
it.
fair.
And I thought
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I just liked it. I know it doesn't really match with the title or anything like that. But I still liked it.
Yeah.
I still thought it was a good album cover.
Because whose dog is this?
It's just a doggy.
I think it's just a doggy. Anyway, I don't know. To me, I'm like, it's serving, but it's not serving at the same time.
I think it fits, even though it doesn't fit the title. I think it fits the vibe somehow.
I guess
I can't really describe it in words. I think it's just like when I listen to the album, I think, yeah, that's the cover. Yeah.
I don't know, because I guess I'm comparing it. I
Look
think
at
it's
those
funny.
guys.
Yeah, look at those guys.
Look at those guys.
Look at those silly little guys. Anyway, they're grown men.
Well, they're about our height, so.
Yeah, that's true. I think we're taller.
I'm not taller, but I think you might be.
I meet Patrick. I look down. Anyway, I meet Pete. He's small. He's 2 apples tall. Anyway, it's fine. We love short men. It's fine.
Short Kings.
Short Kings,
Hell yes.
love ya. Anyway, well, I was thinking about it too. In a way, it's kind of similar to Mania, because Mania had that same like smaller square in the middle, which I love the cover for Mania. By the way,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
so
Mania's so
beautiful. I love that it was purple. Pete was like, "We got to do a purple one," and I was like, "Hey, fine by me. I'm all for it." Anyway,
He's biting the tag. It's fine.
anyway, it's your thing anyway.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's fine.
Whatchamacallit, I do think it's funny that their new logo is the half smiley, half
Yeah.
frowny. I'm like, yeah,
Which
that makes sense.
That took me off guard when I first saw it because that looks almost identical to one of the old members of Hollywood Undead's masks.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're doing this whole time.
Which, to be fair, he got kicked out because he was a Trump supporter.
Oh,
so
never mind.
It's kind of funny.
Never mind.
Well, he got kicked out. They say he left, but he got kicked out.
He got
We all
kicked
know.
out. Yeah. We all know the real
We all know the
reason.
truth.
Anyway, but I think it's funny because it's like a yin and yang thing, and Pete and
Yeah, I
Patrick are like
understand why
yin
you're
and
going
yang.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started. Don't even get me fucking started. Anyway, not that I ship real people in real life,
No.
but
It's
they
just-
are.
It's for funsies.
It's for no. It's not even shipping. It's just.
No, I know what you mean.
it's
It's
just-
just fun to think
It's
about.
just it hurts me. Anyway, but yes, good fucking album again. Flu Game.
Hey, he's biting the box of that stuff.
Hold on, I got you. I got you. There you go.
That's probably mine. And you can have the other one.
It's fine. Anyways, so much for Stardust Stars.
That I feel like I kind of got ripped off for, but
I mean, capitalism.
take my money, Fall Out Boy, I guess.
That's fine by me. You take all my money. Whatchamacallit? Anyway, Flu Game, such a good fucking song. I listen to that shit on repeat. Right when I hear the plugging, I don't know what even the beginning is. The plugging in of the damn
like the plugging
amp or
in,
like
yeah.
turning on. Oh, I'm like, everyone shut up. Again, I am alone in my car, heading to work, and I'm like, everyone shut the fuck up. Patrick is singing. It's such a good fucking song. I can't even put it into words how good of a song it is. There's something about that song. They put something in that song.
I put crack in that song.
Oh my god. Like, I guess to you now, I'm just a face in the crowd. Oh God, kindly please, would you kill me now? Huh? That's the opener. That's the opening sentence. Huh? I gotta be quiet.
I like how you keep like reciting lyrics. I can't do that because I'll just start crying if I start reciting lyrics.
I'm actually surprised I can recite lyrics.
I can. I just will start sobbing.
Yeah,
So
I know. It's so fucking good. I carved out a place in this world for two, but it's empty without you. What? How was that nominated for a Grammy? Huh? I like how I'm asking these questions. No one can answer me. Anyways, it's so fucking good.
it is.
Give it a chance. If you don't like Fall Out Boy, shut up, get over it.
Give it a chance
You're gonna
anyway.
love them now. This is such a good. I'm not even gonna say it sounds like old Fall Out Boy. It's its own sound on its own. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it does. But also, it's so fucking good. Like even when I
It
listen
sounds
to
like good music.
it just sounds like good music. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Music that fucks. Okay? This is music that is not a virgin. They know what the fuck they're talking about. So fucking good. I can let the Pink Seashell and Baby Annihilation slide because
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. Why not? I and then I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. We're getting to the meat of this. I think it's a good album for waiting since 2017 again.
Yeah.
Or 2018. Like I think it's a good comeback. Like they probably never really disappoints me.
No.
Really. They never do. They never can.
Yeah, even with the stuff I'm not like super into, like they're like the EPs like that. I'm not. It never.
It's not like hatred.
It never
It's just like
disappoints me.
okay.
It's just like I understand what
Alright.
they're doing. Good
Yeah.
for Fall Out Boy.
Fall Out Boy, like I can't put into my words. Like I think my love for Fall Out Boy, my love for Taylor are maybe about the same, and Paramore too. Those are my big three. Those are the emo. Taylor Swift, and Fall Out Boy, and Paramore. I just something about those three. But anyway, yeah, this Fall Out Boy is so fucking good. They're so cool.
Right.
They're so fucking cool.
So good.
This is a good fucking album. 10 out of 10. No
Yeah.
notes. Really, no notes. I can't even tell you which things I hated about this album. I love it too damn much. Anyway, number one album. I'm done.
And my number one, just to the surprise of nobody.
Whoa,
Take Me Back to the End by Sleep Token. It was only all 5 of my top songs this year on
Alright, and your top artist.
top artists. Okay, my number one. Oh, the things I could say about this album. The fucking things I can say about this album.
You got 2 more hours?
You got 2 more hours? Oh, you're gonna sit here and listen to my essay. When I was listing the genres in this thing, I had to listen. This is what I listed the genres as like just from like what they're described as on Wikipedia, and also just from like listening to the album. progressive metal, alternative metal, post rock, indie rock / pop, R&B, trap, and jazz.
What?
They're everything. They're everything. That song, the song that I played before, that was more of just a straightforward rock song.
Yeah.
But that's
trap and jazz.
They literally do.
Interesting.
Listen, like
no, I'm not saying like whatchamacallit, but that
like
why not?
The end of the summoning, which was what went viral on TikTok because people were like, oh, it sounds like sexy whatever because it's like jazz, it's like not jazzy, it's like R&B like that sort of thing. They were like, oh, this is amazing and whatever, and then oh god, it annoys me so much. And people are like, especially since like I think even Brittany Bresky said this and it annoyed me. She was like, oh, you know, like the best part of that song is the last minute of it. The rest of it, I just skip. And it's like you're skipping the best fucking part of the song to get to that part.
Interesting.
Oh, it drives me crazy. It's like it's a metal song. Shut up. Anyway, Aqua Ouija is just just a jazz song. It's a fucking amazing song. So I'm gonna list my favorite songs first, just so I can get this out of the way, so I can go on my rant. Take Me Back to Eden, the title track, is my fucking favorite song. It's an 8.5-minute masterpiece. It has every genre imaginable in it. He starts rapping at one point. He starts going into a piano ballad at the beginning. They fucking screaming at the end. It's amazing. Euclid, this last track on the album, so fucking good. It's like oh god, I could talk about Euclid for a fucking hour. It's the last song on the album. It's tying up the trilogy of albums because it's a whole trilogy of it's like a whole thing. And the whole thing is like the whole song is like up sort of upbeat with like sort of emotional lyrics, or not sort of, it's very emotional lyrics, but like it's like sort of upbeat. You think, oh, this is interesting for an ending. It's like bittersweet sounding. And it's like all about like letting go of the past and like looking towards the future and like changing for the better and stuff like that. And then that's like what the whole album's about, is like overcoming things. And at the very end, the last fucking minute of the song, they repeat the lyrics from the first song of their first album, and it's all you realize it's all in a fucking cycle, and you can never escape the cycle, and it's just so fucking good with on my fucking laptop.
I do like same with like Fall Out Boy. Like I do like when they repeat it, or they're like they're throwback. Like think of Fall Out Boy again. You know, like in What a Catch when they were singing all their old songs.
Yeah.
Makes me
oh my god.
every time. Don't even get me started.
Don't even started.
And Brendan with his fuck ass voice. One of my YouTubers was even like, why do you have to sing it like that? I'm trying to enjoy the song. You're thinking out Brendan. Dance, falling apart halftime. Anyway. But I do like when people like Paramore did it too.
Repeating motifs get me every fucking time.
Paramore did it in their song 26, and they reference lyrics from Brick by Boring Brick. And then the original lyrics, it's shit, what did she say? Because in 26 she says, oh fuck, I gotta look it up. Sorry.
No, you're fine. But like, because it's also in the penultimate song, Take Me Back to Eden, it's right before the end of the final song. He also references the first song of this album in the ending. He references Chokehold. And then the last song, he references the first song of their first album from back in 2019. I'm like,
it's like, hold on. It's like, oh, I got you this time. Oh, but wait, do I gotta get you more. That's pretty cool though. I do like when that happens. It's like it's a nice extra treat.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about, it's like music is so good.
And especially when it ties into the theme of it so well.
Yeah.
Of like you're stuck in this endless cycle, you can never get out.
Right.
It's like you think you're healed, you think you're changing. Too bad. Right back at the beginning.
I know. So in 26, the song from After Laughter, she says, and I've been chasing after dreamers in the clouds. After all, wasn't I the one who said to keep your feet on the ground? And then in whatchamacallit, Brick by Boring Brick, hold on. She says, keep your feet on the ground while your head's in the clouds. I remember hearing that for the first time. I was like, wait, hold on. Hold the fuck on.
Hold on.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But I love when that happened. Again, same with like Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
Insane.
Oh my god. Like even in like movies and shows, the narrative use of being doomed to repeat a cycle will always fucking get me. It always gets me. It's just anyway. So I have a pretty long quote, but I feel like it describes it really well from Square One magazine. Yeah. this isn't the whole quote, it's just this one part. You can see my screen. With all the themes and surrounding emotions of what it means to be human, I believe Sleep Token have created a masterpiece of what some consider to be storytelling, but what I believe is to be a metaphorical passage into humanity with the ups and downs of being alive. Each song in retrospect becomes so unpredictable sonically because we as humans have unpredictable emotions, and understandably have the tendency to go through a roller coaster of what we feel in a short span of time. It's a genius way of converting day-to-day emotions in a sonic form, and makes every song they have released feel so much more meaningful and interesting to listen to. And then one more quote, because this is more about I'll say this first. This isn't the quote. This is me talking. It's a fucking masterpiece. The perfect from start to finish. All 12 songs are amazing. I have no notes at all. I'll get this in a second. I was going on the rant, but hold on. It has a clear, cohesive theme direction, even with like multiple genre switches. It has blending pop and R&B and metal and jazz, and it never feels forced or out of place or like Joan 3. It feels surprising sometimes, but not in a bad way. It feels like, oh, they just did that. Like they just made that work.
Adds to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some songs they take inspiration from like worship music, like the way it sounds, because it's like it lists both of their lore, which it's about how like the deity of sleep is what their whole lore is about. But also like just through it emphasizes like the religious metaphors in the music. The lyricism, oh my fucking god! If I could talk to Vessel for a day or for 10 minutes, I just want to hear what he has to say, because he's just the fact that he can write these fucking lyrics.
How old are they? Oh, you don't know?
Huh?
They don't share how old they are.
No.
Okay.
They've only done one video interview, and it was with the drummer. It was about drumming, obviously.
Yeah.
Which his voice, they did like a disguise around his voice, but he's so British, it sounds so funny.
Yeah.
But just his fucking vocals, dude. He has the most insane range I think I've ever heard, like in a singer. Like he can go like super super low, super super fucking high, can scream, can like do everything. He can fucking rap, he can do everything. And it's just so fucking good. And the drummer's a fucking insane dude just to begin with. He like he releases a lot of videos of him like just drumming, like he's doing the track with just drumming. And the way this guy is like, he's like the most relaxed you've ever seen a drummer. He's just like, but he's just like,
it's not even like,
doesn't even look hard at all. That's for him. Insane. It's crazy. What'd you just say?
Killing the skins, tapping the rims.
I hate you.
I know. For those who recognize what I referenced that from, I'm sorry.
And then the other quote I was gonna say is from the Prog Mind. It's Sleep Token has a fantastic sound that is relatively unique, and it will certainly stretch the brains of most metalheads who aren't used to pop music. It'll also stretch the brains of pop fans who don't know much about metal either, because I think that's a perfect description of their music. Yeah. It's like, yeah, they're technically classified as metal, but if you were to listen to like their first album or even their second album, it's like you would be like, this is metal, but it is technically metal. But people who think of like, when you think metal, it's like that's never what the first thing you think of. Yeah. Obviously, the song I showed War, that's a pretty straightforward metal song, but most of their songs aren't like that. That's just one of my favorites, and also it was the only one I had multiple concert clips for that I could put together a video.
I know, when you asked me for Taylor's, nobody fucking ever records normal anymore. It's all vertical. I mean, it's all, I'm right, vertical. And I'm like, guys, please, horizontal for once in your life, and upload it to YouTube, okay?
Oh, anyway. Also, we talk about War for a second. Not the you know, that sounds
not that.
That's not that.
The song.
That sounds wrong out of context. The song War. The song is so fucking good because it uses its theme and it uses its title to influence like the music, which sounds like all songs do that, but it's the way they do it is insane. Oh, I never even showed. This is my number one album. I forgot I even had it right here.
From mine. I bet I didn't bring mine. It's yours.
Yeah, it's my copy. Anyway, but like because Vor, so obviously Vor is like being consumed or whatever. Yeah. And the song is like a metaphor for like there's a lot of like being in pain, being like loving someone so much that you just physically can't take it. It's like that, and it lends itself in the music because the mixing is so interesting. They mixed it to where it intentionally sounds overwhelming in some parts, to where it's like you're being like physically consumed by the music. It's like you're being like pushed down by the music, and then it's just like it'll just like switch where he's like screaming, and then all of a sudden he's like singing again, and it's like the back and forth. Oh my god, I could talk about this for hours. And then the first song, Chokehold, where obviously choke, like you can't breathe like that, and there's a guitar riff where it's like it's hard to explain it, like, even with, like, a noise, you have to just hear it.
Yeah.
But it's, like, the time signature they use, or not even time signature, just the way they did the notes, is, like, they did it intentionally offbeat to where it feels like you can't catch your breath. That's the way it sounds. It's just, they're fucking musical geniuses. I'm just gonna say it now.
It's not just lyrics.
It's, like, it's not just lyrics, it's not just...
It's contributing as a whole.
Oh my god! And then this is the final quote, and then I'll talk about my favorite songs, or like list them.
Yeah.
Their unpredictability more than ever is part of their very essence. They weave between starkly different sounds, hushed piano, air synths, dagger-like gent, and bursts of R&B that toy with autotune and trap drums with breathtaking grace. By treating each genre like a movement in a classical piece, nothing ever jars where in less skilled hands it so easily could. There are more risks on Take Me Back to Eden than Sleep Token have ever done before, but there's never an opportunity to doubt whether anything they attempt will succeed. It's an ambitious, emotional monolith record with all the hallmarks of a future classic status. It's so fucking good. Like this, like they were like a relatively like unknown band before this, and now they're like, they went from like,
yeah, they got really popular really fast.
They did. They went from like, I think like maybe 200,000 listeners on Spotify to like 2 million in like a span of like a couple months.
But it's for like, it makes sense.
Yeah, because it makes sense. And I actually, like, a lot of people got into them through TikTok because they went viral on TikTok. I started listening to them not because of TikTok. Well, I guess because they went to viral on TikTok, but it wasn't the first I'd ever heard of them. I had heard a couple songs like a while ago, like a couple years ago, and I was like, yeah, they're pretty good. And I was like, oh, I'll get into them. I'll listen to one eventually, and then just forgot because of course I just forget everything. And then when they came back on TikTok, I was like, oh, that was that band I meant to get into like years ago, and I was like, oh, I should probably go do that now. And then I was like, this is what I fucking missed out on for the last 5 years. Are you kidding me? So now that's what it just. They're fucking geniuses. Anyway, my favorite songs.
Their popularity is deserving.
Very, very deserved. Oh my god, they're very deserved. My favorite songs, like I said, Take Me Back to Eden, Euclid, Vor. Do You Wish That You Loved Me? No, none of you bitches understand Do You Wish That You Loved Me like I do. All these people are like, because it's like the only song on the album where it's like straight up pop.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like just his voice. It's just like a beat, and it's just like a sort of like marimba, sort of like interesting. And it's like a little bit of synth like that. And it's like no guitars, no like actual like live drums, no screaming. It's just like a even clean tone like that. It's such a good fucking song because you have to actually listen to the lyrics. People are like, oh, it's lazy. It's like the only song on the album I don't like. Whatever. Blah, blah, blah. It's like it's the only pop one. It's like none of you bitches understand her like I do.
Right.
None of you bitches understand her like I do.
I have a lot of those moments with Fall Out Boy fans.
The lyrics are so fucking good in that album because it can be interpreted as either from like to someone else, like someone like like a loved one or whatever who is like not giving you what you need or whatever, or it can be interpreted as like singing it to yourself in the mirror. It's just so fucking good, and if you have to actually listen to the lyrics, it's so good. Anyway, Granite, which was my number one in Spotify Wrapped.
Oh, okay.
Because it came out. Well, it didn't come out first, but it came out.
Oh yeah.
At the beginning of the year, and so it tracked it all year.
Yeah.
My 311 times I listened to it.
Right.
And then Ascensionism, that song. A lot of people. That's their number one. I do love that one. It's not my number one, but I do love it. It's 7, I think, minutes long.
Oh wow.
It's so good. That's the one I think he raps the most in. Or not like I wouldn't call it rapping. It's like rap adjacent. It's not like straight up rapping, but it's like sort of. It's so good. It's just so good. I was here to just list the whole.
I was about to say this entire
Chokehold, The Summoning, Granite, Aqua Regia, Vor, Ascensionism, Are You Really Okay? The Apparition. The Apparition is underrated. I would say that. Do You Wish That You Loved Me? Rain, Take Me Back to Eden, and Euclid. This album is an hour and 3 minutes long. It's so fucking worth every single second of it. They don't waste a second of it. Some people are like, oh, the long songs, they have like big stretches between where it's like instrumental. It's like, that's purposeful. It's not wasting anything. That's purposeful because it's like they write music like classical music writers wrote music, where it's like you give things space, you give things time to breathe between things. It's like just because it's long doesn't mean it's drawn out. I've seen like reactors on YouTube listen to like Take Me Back to Eden or Ascensionism, which are like 8 or 7 minutes long, and they're like, that felt like a minute long. It felt like it was over so quick because they know how to write music. Yeah, it's just I could write a song about all this. I don't know, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that's it.
I guess so. I mean, what else can I say about it other than if you listen, even if you don't like metal, even if you don't like anything,
this is a good
listen
introductory.
to this album. It's listen to their whole discography. It's only three albums, and they're all, like I said, they're all like it's a trilogy. They're all so fucking worth it. To listen to. It's just Anyway,
containing
my
the
energy.
insanity.
So I guess let's just do our honorable mentions real quick because these I don't have much to say about them.
you still have honorable mentions.
It's not very long.
I gotta get the corn dog.
It's not very long.
I don't have
Also,
any.
it's only 8 o'clock. It's fine.
Yeah, they close at 9.
It's fine.
Yeah, it takes me a while to get there. Anyway, go on.
It's not very long. These are your honorable mentions.
Sorry.
None, I guess.
Yeah. I would have included Jonas Brothers, I guess.
Yeah.
I will.
All right, my honorable mentions. Hotel California by All Out and Dead. What did I say about it? It's a huge improvement on their last album. I'm going really fast now. It's a huge improvement. Their last album, New Empire Volume 2, just didn't like it. It wasn't very good. And the 5 tracks they added on the deluxe edition, because this one technically came out last year. This deluxe edition came out this year. The 5 tracks they added really added to it. It took it from like a 7 out of 10 to like a 9 out of 10.
Interesting.
The 5 tracks they added. There 3 of those 5 ones they added are some of my favorite songs they've ever released ever.
Oh.
They were really good at it. I'm like, why didn't they just put them on the album? But whatever. I love the direction they're going. It's a solid Holiday Dead album, but they're adding more like post-hardcore and like more like live guitars and drums while keeping their like trap stuff that they
what they
always
were
did.
known for. Yeah.
It's so good.
You dissect everything I do, but I ain't shit 'cause I'm just like you. I don't wanna admit, but it's the truth. Shorty scene, I just wanna stand like you. Gonna get an autograph and a picture too. When you hear about all the evil shit I do, that bitch is gonna end up empty too. I'll burn the bridge to light the way, knocking on heaven's gate. Evil, am I evil? Through the empty eyes of you people. Oh, evil, I am evil. Of all your eyes deceitful.
So good album. My next album mention, there's only 2. This one and one other one. Spin Into the Round Part 2 by Blow October. It's so good. They're continuing in their like sort of art rocky synth poppy direction, and I'm happy with it. As much as I love their like dramatic and like angsty alt rock stuff when they first started, it's clear that with how much the singer Justin has grown and improved both his mental and physical health, this is what he's happy to create, and seeing their discography go from like tortured like emo like stuff like that to like it's like I'm trying to think of the word, like real like pop, like not pop, I wouldn't call it pop, it's like art rock, realistic life lessons about like self-love and sobriety and family. It's just such a positive change. Even though it's not like what I would normally listen to, I like seeing that he's become healthier. I like that he's improving himself.
He kind of a dilf.
He kind of is. And I saw that man live. Okay, my last honorable mention: Hard Reset by The Word Alive. This is a crazy metalcore album. They really like went big on it. They have features from Bad Omens, Escape the Fate, Loveless, and First Last, Normandy, and it's a really diverse and ambitious set of songs that it really elevates their sound, but the features don't overshadow their sound, but it elevates it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they have a lot of features, but it doesn't hide their sound at all.
Yeah.
I thought they did. They've improved a lot. They've really done. This band was originally a side project for some other big artist, but then he left, and then all the other members left, and so it's basically a new band now, but the same name.
Interesting.
And he's not really new anymore. He's been there for a couple of years, but the singer now, he's really good. He's a really good singer.
Welcome to your
And that was it.
That's it.
All I wanted to say, that's so funny that you said kind of a dilf about Justin Field, because that was the same thing where whenever we listened to her at Jesse's house, you were like, "Is this Phil Collins?"
I totally forgot.
It's like Phil Collins.
Sorry, I
It
apologize.
was Into the Ocean too. The song about killing yourself.
I was just talking about the vocals.
I know, but it sounded so funny when you were like, we're listening to this song about
Is
should I just
this-
end it all? And he's like, is this Phil
Phil
Collins?
Collins. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Thanks
What
for
were
watching.
your top 10 albums of 2023? If you could even get to 10, like me,
Shut up.
or you could barely get to, or not
Barely squeeze it into 10.
barely keep it to 10. There we
Yeah,
go.
there we
That's
go.
the wording. Anyways, thanks for watching slash listening.
Yeah. Don't know what we're gonna do next.
We love music.
I'm
here's
really very
to-
passionate about music.
Here's to 2024.
Yeah.
Hopefully we do
We'll have a
more
lot of
of
good
this.
music next year.
Yeah, I'm looking. I hope there's good
I know.
music.
Hopefully, Bring Me the Horizon will eventually get their album out because it's been pushed back like 4 times now. It's supposed to come out last
That's
year.
so
or
funny.
something like
They're
that.
like, oh, we're taking our time.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm looking forward to in 2024. Let me. Who might come out with a new album? Oh, I guess Taylor with her the rest of her
Yeah.
re-recordings. I will tell you when she releases her debut album re-recording her version, I will be sobbing the entire time. Whatchamacallit? Maybe she'll come out with another album knowing her. Anyway, so scared. Here's to 2024 for new good music. Maybe I'll listen to more people and I'll have honorable mentions.
I think if you listen to Sleep Token's discography, you would like at least half the songs. Like
Oh,
genuinely
really?
like liked and listened to them multiple times, liked at least half the songs.
Interesting.
I think you would actually like them.
Interesting. Yeah, I did try it. Well, never mind. That's not the same.
What?
Juvenile had me try listening to Mountain Goats, and I was like, no,
It's not similar
it's
at
not
all.
the same. It's not. Anyway, yeah. Thank you. And good night.
Good night.
Okay.